salutations, what it do? It's not the gamer, all father, Durag gang, and the vibes like scrub. Let's get it. Happy Friday, everyone. Welcome, Durag Nation, to another Marvel Spider-Man 2 live stream. It is time. The first ever hands-on gameplay of Marvel Spider-Man 2 will be dropping very soon. How is everyone doing today? What's up? We got our members and mods in here early. What's up, Yasin? Nice to see you. Captay, what's up? Last Avenger standing. Appreciate all you guys. I'm still setting up a little bit, so let me see. I'm trying to see who we're going to be reacting to. Don't be stupid, YouTube. Thank you. All right, so we're going to be. So for those that don't know what's happening, if you understandable, there's a lot of news. So if you missed all the updates from Insomniac, you missed my video. Today is the first hands-on gameplay and impressions for Marvel Spider-Man 2. Doge Day, appreciate that super chat. Getting things off right. So earlier in the week, there was a Spider-Man 2 preview event. It happened in Los Angeles. It happened in London. And we were able, and certain content creators and media members were able to play the game early. A demo was available at the event. GamerX coming through with the super chat. Thank you so much. Getting started off the right way. All right, so yeah, I was actually just about to get into that. So, a bunch of content creators were there, media members were there. They got to play the game early. No one's allowed to say anything until 11 a.m. EST, which is precisely about I think 15 minutes, like 24 minutes from now. So once 11 hits, everything is allowed to be posted. Everything's allowed to be talked about. That happened. I'm going to be reacting to the creators who I know are doing impressions. I know Caboose is doing one. Of course, Evan has his scheduled as a premiere, so we'll watch a little Evan. We'll watch the 19 inches of Venom girl, because she said she's going to have an interview with Bryan Intihar as well. So I'm just going to set up the different channels for people who are going to be reacting to for Spider-Man 2. They said, according to her, there's going to be exclusive gameplay. In addition to the interview with Bryan Intihar. At 11 o'clock, I'll be able to tell you what type of gameplay was able to be delivered by the content creators. Until 11, I cannot tell you anything. I am not allowed to tell you anything specific about this other than what is publicly known about the event. I cannot say anything else. But I do know what they were allowed to capture. Actually, we might be able to react to one early. Hold up. Somebody might have broken embargo. Doje coming through with $1. Appreciate you. Actually, yeah, hold up. Somebody might have broken embargo already. So the embargo is 11. And I just got a DM. Let me check Random Black Gamer. Yep. Random Black Gamer looks like he broke embargo and, and posted and posted early. So let's react to Random Black Gamer. He was one of the creators who was invited to the event. And he he broke Embargo. So we're gonna watch this. Lizard chasing. Shout out to Random Black Gamer for breaking Embargo. Appreciate it. Appreciate it, bro. So we're about to let me set this up real quick. That's actually funny. Appreciate the super chat. Shout out to people who breaking Embargo out here in these streets. So let's see what a Random Black Gamer is talking about. Shout out to you, my friend. Holy, it's always somebody breaking Embargo. Shout out to Random Black Gamer.
Yo, what's going on, you guys? This is your boy RBG, aka the Random Black Gamer, bringing you a special video coverage on Marvel Spider-Man 2. If you guys have been living under a
He's
rug
30
or
minutes
Patrick
early.
Starr's house, I actually had the pleasure of actually going out to play Marvel Spider-Man 2 for myself. So I want to give a big thank you to PlayStation and Insomniac Games for allowing your boy to experience this epicness for myself and give you guys my breakdown on it. Now, I just want to go ahead and forewarn you guys that I'm going to be doing this in segments because there is a lot to digest. Obviously, some of the bigger things like the gameplay, the story, and all the other elements, they take a lot of time to cover. So I want to talk about something pertaining to traversal, and that is the web swinging. That is something that I know a lot of people are wondering how much they have actually given to this element, because obviously it's a pre-established thing. It's something that I feel like Insomniac Games put the most work into when they came out.
There's
with
a little bit of new gameplay,
and it continues to evolve over other properties like Marvel Spider-Man Miles Morales, and now we have Marvel Spider-Man 2.
Twin, that's just racist. We look literally nothing alike.
So that is definitely something that I want to talk to you guys. But first, if you can, do me the biggest favor and like or dislike this video. Yeah, I know it's annoying getting that request at the beginning of the video, but YouTube's algorithm sort of encourages it.
Definitely like the video.
Your boy, and you know I'm going to bring you that awesome content, then smash that like button. And if you feel like you've wasted 8 minutes of your time and feel like you'll never get that thing
Sony
back,
about to be sending the goons after him.
Hit this video with a dislike. You're a rebel, you do what you want.
Sony sending the dreadheads after him.
About that web swinging in Marvel Spider-Man 2, this is one of those aspects of the games that I was the most concerned about, because I didn't know where Insomniac was going to take this or if they can improve upon it, because Marvel Spider-Man Miles Morales did an exceptional job of taking that foundation that Peter Parker laid out and expanding on it and making it feel natural to Miles' character. Obviously, they incorporated a lot of new moves that made Miles his own unique thing. And they also added the option of taking these poses and these different gestures as Miles free falls from the sky.
Spider-Verse suit?
So I wasn't quite sure what they could do other than increase the speed, which I'm also going to talk about later on in this video. But anyways, I think another thing that this game has going against it is Marvel Spider-Man PC Edition. And the reason why I say this is whenever you introduce a ported version of a game to the PC, it gives the modders free real estate to do things that the developers probably didn't have a lot of time to do. There have been these talented individuals who have taken it upon themselves to add things that weren't really implemented into the original version of the game, such as costumes, and they've managed to go in and spruce up the web swinging mechanics. That's something that I have
Sony
really
about
been
to give him 19
watching,
inches.
just seeing how they can incorporate these different animations and flip tricks, some of which have been lifted from Miles Morales.
This man said, "What Embargo?"
But somehow they managed to make them fit well within Peter Parker's style, and that has me a bit concerned, because if the modders are just going all out and making these things unique, from the different camera angles to the web swinging speeds. It kind of makes you wonder what Insomniac is going to do to top that, because we now
watching
have
the video with one
two
hand?
Spider-Man games.
Watching with one hand is
the
crazy.
First Marvel Spider-Man game
Holy.
and Miles Morales, and the modding community is going strong on those things. So what exactly is Insomniac
mod
gonna do
gameplay
to make these things a lot better?
This is
than what we played
this
on
is
the previous
PC mod.
installments? Well, for one, they did increase the web swinging speeds. I am happy to announce that
This is Spider-Man 2
moves
gameplay.
at a rapid speed. They have made it a priority to take advantage of the SSD hardware, because that's something that was sorely lacking in the previous installments since they were on dated hardware.
And this is actually
Even
new.
though the first Marvel Spider-Man game moved at a pretty good
So
pace
this
in
is
terms
new
of web
footage.
swinging, there were a lot of fans, including myself, that wish we could have got a little bit more oomph when it comes to the speed. But there are things to take into consideration when it comes to that. When you're dealing with an open sandbox world, there are things that may seem like they're there and ready to be explored, but it's kind of like real life. Like, if I'm in front of something, I can see all the details on it. That's essentially how a game works. If you're in front of something, you can see all the detail on it, but once you go to other areas that are far out and you continue to get closer, they go from blurry to more detail, and that's essentially what we see in these games. There's a lot of detail that needs to be loaded up the closer you get to it. But since Spider-Man can get from point A to point B with his supernatural abilities such as web swinging, those things have to be tweaked in order to make it actually possible.
He's mixing
so
in,
if he moves at a rapid rate, there's a
footage
chance
from
that
Spider-Man
details
2,
on things like buildings
Spider-Man
and characters
Remastered,
could potentially
and
get
Miles
lost
Morales.
in the shuffle. We're talking where you don't see
as
like
well as
their
PC
faces.
gameplay.
It just looks like a glossy mess, and the buildings look smooth and lacking of any kind of detail. So that's one of the main reasons why we got the speed that we got in Marvel Spider-Man 1 and Miles Morales. But now we have the SSD to actually allow us
his name
to
is
traverse
Random
the
Black
scene
Gamer.
in record-breaking time. And we also have these bigger locations that we can see now. And I ain't gonna lie to you guys, like, I was very surprised when I
guess the
saw
cat's out of the
how
bag.
vast the city is now. We obviously have other locations such as Coney Island, which I cannot wait to explore. But seeing Peter Parker and Miles Morales
new
move at the
gameplay.
speeds they were going really just put a big smile on my face. I am just surprised that this game actually rivals the likes of Spider-Man 2 the movie game and Web of Shadows, which have been touted as the fastest Spider-Man web
one of the new
in the gaming
that's
franchise.
one of the new suits.
And I'm not gonna lie to you, Insomniac seems like they're daring you to go fast, because in one mission you actually have to do that. Keep your foot on the web swinging gas pedal and try to catch up with one of these drones that Craven has issued out to find Dr. Kirk Connors, who is now the Lizard. This thing moves pretty fast, so you're gonna need the web wings in order to keep up. Now, what I absolutely love about this mission is that you have to stay within the slipstream that the drone is creating in order to absorb this embedded data. And it does that for a good minute, and while you're seeing Miles glide super fast through the city of New York, you notice that all the traffic and pedestrians are there. There aren't any pop-ins. Everything is moving seamlessly as you traverse through New York at a super fast speed. You can eject or retract the wings at any time by pressing triangle, but you'll have to make sure you're using them at the appropriate time. There are going to be moments where you don't have enough
the wings that shoot out the back of the suit.
Switch to something else, like doing a dive. And I have a nagging suspicion that you guys are going to be doing that a lot, just switching back and forth between the dive, which for the most part was the main go-to thing in order to boost some speed. But now that we actually have these web wings, in order to do that, it's going to be fun just toggling back and forth. As
that looks
seen in one
fire.
of the gameplay demos, there will be these random slipstreams that'll pop up, which will give you more access to speed, so you can take advantage of that. And something else that somebody pointed out that I did notice upon my playthrough, shouts out to my man Evan Filarca, check out his channel. He pointed out that if you're diving over water using the web wings, there's a chance that you can actually skate on the water. So that's a nice touch.
You can skate on the water, that's sick.
Anyways, it seems like Insomniac Games has made an upgrade feature that'll allow you to boost the tempo of your swinging.
As you can see,
need that because you're going to be going up against so many different fast foes, which includes the Lizard. As you can see, this guy was booking it during this awesome
symbiote Peter chasing the Lizard,
and you're gonna need all the different skills and finesse in order to keep up with him. This is one of my favorite cinematic set pieces that Insomniac has implemented into a Marvel Spider-Man game, but unfortunately I can't show you all of it. I wish I could, guys, but you know how it is. I gotta stay within that NDA boundary. But I can say that there have been some
they weren't
things
allowed
that
to
have
capture
been
their own
tweaked,
footage,
while other things have just been transferred over from the previous installments. Some
Insomniac
of which includes
sent them
the web
with
swinging
new
moves
footage
and flip tricks
that
you
they
can
could
do.
use for
That's
this
one of those
impression
things
video.
I had small gripes about when it came to Marvel Spider-Man 1
So
and
they
Miles
weren't
Morales
actually able to
not having
capture
the ability to
their
actually
demo
unlock new
session.
moves and tricks. And it seems like it's going to kind of carry over with this because there are a lot of things that we've seen in previous installments like
Insomniac just sent them gameplay
that have
clips
kind of been lifted
that they
up
can add on
and brought over to this
to
game.
their commentary.
But fret not, they did implement some crazy things that you're going to be seeing. Like, Miles Morales isn't going to be the only one web swinging in style here because Peter Parker has his own unique abilities that you are absolutely going to enjoy this time around. If Miles Morales has the exaggerated
hilarious. He said he's saying in about the NDA.
Then Peter Parker is
broke
going to have the
Embargo.
exaggerated nerdiness of a high school substitute teacher. Because similar to his pupil, Peter can actually execute poses while free falling, and they match his style very well. I didn't get a chance to execute this for myself, but according to Evans Filarca, shoutouts to him once again, Peter can perform a move where he essentially pulls out a Rubik's Cube and continues to solve it as he falls from the sky. Which is off
pretty
the
fire.
chain, am I right?
Okay.
I cannot wait to see all the other moves you can do and how fast you
A
can
free
go.
fall,
But we're gonna have to
solving a
wait
Rubik's
until
Cube?
October the 20th when this game drops. But until then, I want to know what you guys think about this. Did you like all the details that I provided, or do you wish you could have got a little bit more because this doesn't seem to be tickling your fancy? Let me know in the comment section below. As always, I ask you guys to like or dislike the video. It doesn't have to be a thumbs up, it can be a thumbs down. But if you really enjoyed the video, I would appreciate it greatly if you shared with all your friends and followers on all the different social media outlets. Sharing is caring. Well, once again, this is your boy RBG signing out on another video. I will catch you guys later. Peace out.
Shout out to Random Black Gamer for breaking the embargo. Where's the gameplay? We literally just watched it. So if you just dropped in, hit rewind on the stream. So like I said, the embargo for the hands-on impressions was for 11 a.m., which is 10 minutes from now. We started this at 10:30 or so. So it looks like Random Black Gamer broke embargo and uploaded this early. The reason why Caboose isn't posting, no one's posting except Random Black Gamer, because they weren't supposed to. According to the embargo, you're not allowed to say anything or post anything until 11 a.m. Eastern Standard Time. Random Black Gamer broke that embargo and posted his video like a half hour early. But basically, as you saw from his impression video, they weren't allowed to capture, even though they got to play the game, they weren't allowed to capture their gameplay session. They were only able to talk about, their experience, what they experienced playing the game. And Insomniac sent them with some extra gameplay clips that they could use when doing their impression video. So that's why you saw Random Black Gamer use a combination of footage from Spider-Man PS4 Remastered, Miles Morales, as well as the new gameplay that we got yesterday. So that's why no one else is posting yet. But shout out to Random Black Gamer. So we got a little bit of we saw some of the new gameplay clips. They got some new stuff for the swinging, and we got some new stuff when it comes to two of the missions. There's a mission where Miles is chasing the symbiote, where Miles is chasing a drone from Kraven that's trying to track a lizard. And there's a mission where symbiote Peter is chasing the lizard through the city. So give me a second. I'm going to set up the next reaction. I was literally in the middle of setting up the channels that we're going to react to, that I know are going to be posting stuff. And then I got a DM saying that Random Black Gamer broke embargo, which is crazy. I hope he doesn't get in trouble. it should. I mean, he should be okay. He's a pretty big channel, and he just posted it a little bit early, so not the worst thing in the world. But yeah, blood. Blood definitely jumped the gun on that embargo. But in 7 minutes, everyone else is going to post him. Show how fast it is switching from Peter to Miles. The transition was fire. Yeah, especially the transition from the fast travel. They upgraded the fast travel, so instead of like in Miles Morales, you go in, it goes black, the screen goes black, and you hop out the subway. It just immediately switches to a different part of the map and shows you a cinematic of you flying with the web wings, and then drops you right into the action. Here it is. This is who I was looking for. Synaxon Gaming says she's going to have an interview with Bryan Intihar. Evan's video premieres in 4 minutes. So I think we're going to watch Evan first, since Evan got some game, according to Random Black Gamer. But you just broke embargo. No, I didn't. I'm not under embargo. That's not how that works. I was not invited to the event. I did not get to play. They didn't invite me to the event. They didn't send me. So I didn't have a chance to play the game. I didn't sign any NDAs. I'm just chilling, reacting to the content as it gets posted. The ops will be coming for Random Black Gamer. What time for Caboose? Same time as everybody else, except for Random Black Gamer. Everyone else has been following the embargo. No one else broke the embargo so far. Random Black Gamer broke the embargo. He posted his impression video about 30 minutes early. And we just did a reaction to it. Which was good. We got a little extra gameplay footage. We got to see the lizard and Connor's chase scene, the lizard and symbiote Peter chase scene, which was pretty fire. Let me close some of these tabs. I got a lot of stuff open. All right, there we go. Sound Extended Assassins. Evan's video premieres in 3 minutes. Random Black Gamer. Hilarious. Let me look at that lizard gameplay again. While we wait. My computer.
So you're gonna need the web
like
wings in order
right
to
now.
keep up. Now, what I absolutely love about this mission is that you have to stay within the slipstream that the drone is creating in order to absorb this embedded data. And it does that for a good minute. And while you're seeing Miles glide super fast through the city of New York, you notice that all the traffic and pedestrians are there. There aren't any pop-ins. Everything is moving seamlessly as you traverse through New York at a super fast speed.
Fun. I can't
wait.
You
can eject or retract the wings at any time by pressing triangle, but you'll have to make sure you're using them at the appropriate time. There are going to be moments where you don't have enough momentum and you're going to have to switch to something else like doing a dive. And I have a negative suspicion that you guys are going to be doing that a lot, just switching back and forth between the dive, which for the most part was the main go-to thing in order to boost some speed. This. But now that we actually have these web wings, in order to do that, it's going to be fun just toggling back and forth. As seen in one of the gameplay.
I don't recognize this suit. It looks kind of like this cybernetic suit from a Spider-Man PS4, but it looks
demos. There will be these random slipstreams that'll pop up, which will give you more access to speed, so you can take advantage of that.
You see, it has metal wings that pop out. That's really cool. So the different suits are going to have mechanics that are unique to those suits when it comes to how the web wings and stuff will work. So like the suits with capes are going to use the gliding. This is like a mechanical type of suit. So it has like metal wings that shoot out. That's actually fire. All right, it's 11. So let's hop over to Evan. Bars. Minutes. Let me refresh. I was going to do Evan, but I waited 5 minutes. Hold up. Caboose probably posted at exactly 11. Nope. Caboose didn't post yet. See if she posted yet. She didn't post yet. Let me see who else. Let me see who else posted. That Caboose posted. All right, just one live. All right, here we go. Caboose hands-on gameplay impressions.
Mild spoilers ahead. You have been warned. We are going to be talking about my hands-on impressions with Marvel Spider-Man 2 today, and a part of the time that we got to get playing the game included some stuff for the story, and they put us a couple of hours in. So if you don't want to know anything, if you don't want to hear anything regarding spoilers, this may not be the video for you. But if you're hyped to learn about a potential Spider-Verse side mission, if you're excited to learn
Spider-Verse side mission,
how incredible the characterization of characters like Lizard and Kraven are in this game, well, here we go. We're get into it with my hands-on impressions on Marvel Spider-Man 2.
Cook up, my friend, cook up.
A huge thanks to the folks at PlayStation Canada for inviting me out, for flying me out to Los Angeles and allowing me time to get my hands on with the game. I got to play it for quite a couple of hours. I pretty much got to see the entire open world. At least I got to explore and free roam what was new, and that was amazing. And I also got to check out a ton of new story-related things. Let me just just
Those are the clips that Random Black Gamer had.
The thing that I imagine a lot of people want to know about, and that's specifically the traversal. There was so much discourse regarding whether or not Peter has new web swinging animations within Marvel Spider-Man 2, and that point was already proven wrong by the trailer that they released yesterday. But let me just reiterate, from what I played, yes, Peter has new web swinging animations.
Yes, sir.
And they are sweet. The air tricks felt fairly similar to what Miles is actually able to do that we recognize from Spider-Man Miles Morales, and a lot of those animations and air tricks are back in Marvel Spider-Man 2. But when you're just doing your normal web swing,
Spider-Verse side mission, I'm with it.
You do some cool poses, and it's a lot of fun. Speaking of traversal, I don't want to talk in hyperbole here, okay? But I genuinely mean it. In
Spider-Gwen?
The amount of time that I had with Marvel Spider-Man 2, I think right now that the web wings might be my all-time favorite traversal mechanic in any video game ever. Think about all the stuff you love about the Batman Arkham Glide, okay? You know, dive bombing towards the street and then just pulling up at the last possible second. You're pretty much skidding right above the ground. And now imagine all that fun stuff, but you're also Spider-Man. I don't know. I don't know how Insomniac did it. These guys are freaking wizards.
This sounds insane.
But I was having an
it looks crazy too.
With the web wings. Those wind tunnels are placed in the perfect spots around the open world. Not to mention there are vents on top of rooftops that will launch you back up into the air, so then you can get a little bit more momentum with the web.
Oh, that's so good.
It's just an unbelievable amount of fun. And it's a simple button press too. You're web swinging around, doing some air tricks, press triangle, boom. The web wings are out.
Web wings for triangle.
Do all your fun stuff and go right back into a web swing, or
yeah,
some air tricks if you'd like. There's mid-air dodges that you can do, and also if you hold down and then circle, he's gonna pull out the web wings and then stop himself. So if you see a random crime or maybe a collectible, well, you can stop yourself in midair.
Oh, that's fire.
Or fight the crime. And I don't even think I need to talk about this too much, but man, this game looks pretty.
Yes, it does.
Goodness, they are taking advantage of the PlayStation 5. That much is for sure. There's just something about it when you look at the gameplay from Marvel Spider-Man 2 and then compare it with the gameplay.
That's the lizard mission.
Morales, even on the PS5 or Marvel.
That was like the end of the lizard chase. Potentially Peter versus Lizard 1-on-1. Oh, that's the boss fight.
Not to mention the character models, the textures, the lighting, and I think particularly the nighttime setting in Marvel Spider-Man 2 looks leagues better than the way it looked in the previous two games. Rest assured,
Symbiote Peter confronting Kraven.
Advantage of every little bit of the power that the PlayStation 5 offers with this game. You already know all the upgrades that combat's gotten in Marvel Spider-Man 2, and it's a lot of fun when you got.
Damn, he showed way more gameplay than Random Black Gamer did. What the hell?
You remember from the last two games, but then also mixing in those brand new special attacks that you have tied to the L.
Come on, Random Black Gamer.
So much fun. And what I found most interesting about that is that those special attacks aren't just going to be symbiote attacks at one point in the game.
Woo!
You can choose if you want some symbiote attacks and then as well some attacks with those iron arms. You can choose as well if you want to switch out all the face buttons to be attached to just iron arm special attacks or just symbiote attacks. Of course, with Miles, it's a little bit different.
You can mix up the iron and the symbiote
abilities, but there's a lot to explore there, and I'm very much looking forward to getting my hands on the full game to see what sort of different things you can combine, what things are best to mix and match. The iron arms are a lot of fun.
I know. What did break Embargo for?
They're not too intrusive in the gameplay. The symbiote attacks, I mean, you already know. That's the power fantasy that we're looking for out of Marvel Spider-Man 2, being able to take control.
This is the Oscorp facility
and utilize it to its fullest potential.
Where Peter, I think, gets the symbiote for the first time.
Exactly what Insomniac did in this game. They pretty much nailed what it would feel like to use that power. It's brutal, man. It is very visceral. Some of those attacks, you're gonna sit there and be like, my God, what did I just do to that poor dude? So suffice to say, the symbiote suit in Marvel Spider-Man 2 is pretty much perfect. Another interesting thing worth noting about the symbiote suit, or I guess the alternate suits in general within
Marvel this looks insane,
is that your symbiote abilities aren't specifically tied to the symbiote suit. Essentially, the symbiote suit in Marvel Spider-Man 2 is just an alternate costume. If you want, you can use the Advanced Suit 2.0 and still use the symbiote abilities.
Really?
And of course, use the Raimi suit from Spider-Man 3 and use the symbiote abilities.
That's crazy.
To use use the Raimi suit from Spider-Man 3 with the symbiote abilities, that was awesome. And I just, in general,
Oh
think
my
that that's
God.
a really
That's
good way to do it. That way, you know, hey, if I
Yo.
really like the advanced suit, I don't want to lose that because it's tied to the story. That way I can still just use the advanced suit for as long as I'd like, and I still get all those super fun symbiote abilities. Or maybe
You can use the
symbiote
Raimi,
in Spider-Man 2, but I'm not the biggest
of course,
fan of symbiote
but you can
abilities,
use the
and I'd rather
symbiote
use
on
the
any
with
suit.
Iron Arms. That's an option that's available as well. They thought of
That's
everything.
crazy.
Oh, and one of the really cool things that you get to do with the symbiote suit in this game is that you get to have basically like a rage meter, similar to the God of War game.
A rage
You
meter?
Fill up this meter, click in the thumbsticks, and then the symbiote suit transforms. And then the logo on the now transformed symbiote suit actually looks fairly similar to the Venom logo.
Venom
And then when
confirmed!
you're in
Holy
this
shit!
mode, it's like 2 attacks against an enemy, and then you do a crazy takedown with the symbiote.
Holy
And
sh-
pretty much go berserk. Again, think the rage mode
Oh
from
my
God of War
God.
games, but now implemented into Marvel Spider-Man.
Let's
2.
go!
Perfect. And what's really cool about it as well is that if you're just using the Advanced Suit 2.0 and then you activate the rage, it almost feels like, you know, you're transforming into the black suit on the fly. The alternate suits are
That's
pretty
the
damn
Venom!
great in this
That's
game,
the
and you
Venom
already saw in the trailer
transformation!
yesterday that there are
Oh,
plenty of suits from the previous two
yo.
games that are returning here. But the additive now is that there are color variants.
He's
for the
literally
suits in this
Venom!
game, and that
It's
opens up
over!
Pandora's
It's
box for
over!
customization. I noticed that one of the color variants for the Advanced Suit 2.0 makes it so that the blue on the suit is actually black, so it's like a black and red Advanced Suit, and I know
I
a lot of
told
people
you!
are gonna be very
I
happy
told
when
you
they
he's
see that.
Venom.
But then also there's some funkier colors in there, and there's some suits that maybe I wasn't the biggest fan of, but that color variant
I'm gonna play
makes
this
it
game
pop that
forever,
much
bro.
more. And
I'm
of
gonna
course,
be
all the
playing this so
bells and
much
whistles
times.
you're already aware of. You know, there are 3 skill trees in the game, 1 for Peter, 1 for Miles, and then the shared skill tree for both of the Spider-Men. And there's also a ton of ways that you can upgrade both of the characters, their gadgets, and so on. The open
Yo.
world is massive in this game, and there's an unimaginable amount to explore, considering as well the fact that it is almost double in size.
According to Keenan, the gameplay is what they was presented by PlayStation. Yeah, I already said that. I already went over that earlier.
World were pretty much the same from the last 2 games. There were some minor tweaks to them.
They
The
weren't
car
able
chases
to
were a bit
capture their
different, but
actual
some of them were
gameplay
just, you know, your
sessions.
standard mugging or
Sony
breaking
gave
and
them
just beating up a bunch of
pre-recorded.
thugs.
They
What's
basically were
really
given
cool about this,
pre-recorded
though, is that sometimes
clips
you'll
from
go into a
Insomniac
random crime that's
to use
happening,
for
and
their
Miles or
impressions.
Peter, whatever it might be, depending on which character you're playing as, will be there as well and fighting the criminals alongside you. Sometimes it can get a bit messy. There's quite a few things happening on screen at once, but when you're just attacking a guy and then it goes into a dual takedown where Peter and Miles work together, it's just unbelievably satisfying. And what caught me by surprise was a side mission where you're collecting a whole bunch of spider bots. And actually, at the event, they had some of these spider bots. You know, one of them will be like a Shocker spider bot, or one of them
Shocker.
will be like a Spider-Man 2099 suit spider bot. And what I was starting to learn is this might actually be a side quest that makes Spider-Verse canon within the Marvel Spider-Man games. The animation of the effect that pulsates from one of the spider bots when you find them in the open world is very similar in the art style that we see from the Spider-Verse movies. There are some spider bots that are Spider-Verse character specific. You know, there's a Penny Parker spider bot, or there's a Spider-Gwen spider bot, or even the Spider-Man Noir spider bot actually has the fedora, you know, like how he looks in those movies. But beyond that,
Spider-Verse
beyond the
confirmed?
Spider-Verse, if you will, I had a conversation with Genki after I collected enough of them, where Genki said, hey, I'm trying to ping who's placing these spider bots around the city, and it's saying to me here that that person is millions of miles away. Peter's like, oh, there's no way that this person is in deep space leaving these spider bots around the city, so maybe they're just messing with your signal. Try and figure out who it is. And then it clicked with me. That art style that's pulsating from the
Spider-Verse.
when you see them around the city, the fact that it's from someone a million miles away,
Spider-Verse.
maybe it's from somebody from another dimension. Maybe it's from somebody through that Spider-Verse, if
Gwen.
you will. I wasn't
Spider-Gwen.
able to collect them all, so I don't know the resolve of this side mission, but I think it's awesome that that might end up
Spider-Gwen.
happening. And when I played the last 2 Spider-Man games, I had one major nitpick, and I think honestly this was a nitpick that a lot of people had, and I feel Insomniac
Holy.
took that feedback in stride, and that was the boss battles. The last 2 games kind of had the boss battle structured where you're just dodging a whole bunch and then you find an opening to attack the enemy. In Marvel Spider-Man 2, I had the chance to
there's the
face
lizard
off
boss
against the
fight.
Lizard, and my goodness, it was one of the most engaging, enthralling, and crazy set pieces for a boss battle that I've seen in a long time from a game. And a lot of that has to do with the fact that there's the newly introduced parry mechanic within Marvel.
Oh, look at that
Spider-Man 2,
parry.
but also, the boss had a health bar Thank you. Finally,
Bosses with help bars.
track as to how far into the fight I am.
Let's
How
go.
close I am to beating the enemy. That's something I feel was sorely missing from the first 2 games. And I wanted to save talking about the story until the very end of this video because, again, minor spoilers for anybody who don't want to know about anything regarding the story in Marvel Spider-Man 2. Now is your last chance. Okay, you guys still here? All right.
I'm still here.
The first cutscene that we got to witness when we got our hands on with this game was a cutscene between Peter in his symbiote suit confronting Kraven. And I am telling you right now, this is one of the best Spider-Man scenes ever. Spider-Man has a deep rogues gallery, all right? Let's not mess around here. We know that there are a lot of really cool villains.
And you see the bell tower in the background?
He's one of the tippy top. And his motive has always been fairly simple. He's just a guy who wants the
he's exploiting the weakness.
Challenge. And this confrontation that he has with Peter, it's, oh my God, I cannot praise it enough. From a performance standpoint, animation, direction, writing, all of it, it's firing on all cylinders.
Yo.
Kraven has been your boy. If that's your favorite
Kraven's last hunt,
this game is going to blow your freaking mind.
I see a man. I sense a beast. We'll finish this later.
Yo.
My final hunt.
And from that
Kraven's last hunt.
Then you go into a cutscene with Peter and Harry, and you find out, well, at this point in the story, Harry knows that Peter is Spider-Man. Harry knows that Peter has the symbiote. And it makes me really wonder how we got to this point. Because once again, our hands-on with Marvel Spider-Man.
This is the story mission we saw. We got a preview of.
Game. So I still don't even know how Peter obtains the symbiote suit, and as well what those interactions look like between Peter and Harry leading up to this point in the game. But it is confirmed that, well, without that symbiote, Harry is dying. And unfortunately, Kurt Connors was the guy who was treating him, and now he's the Lizard. You head over to Kurt Connors' house. You actually find out through some security cam footage that Lizard did have the lab coat. Okay, he was wearing it. It just rips off because he gets
lab coat confirmed.
You guys called it on that one. All right, I apologize. I'm just nitpicking. I get it. All right, you hated me for that. I'm sorry. And then from there, we pretty much got to play the PlayStation Showcase demo that you saw, except it was pretty extended, and there were quite a few scenes that weren't in the actual PlayStation Showcase demo. It's pretty much similar to what Insomniac has done in the past with the marketing for their games. Just think back what they did with the E3 demo with the Sinister Six. It wasn't that different. There was just a couple of extended moments and some more to the gameplay bits of it. I feel like they just condensed it for the sake of it being marketing material. But it was just so much fun, you know, going into the sewers, fighting the Lizard, having that boss battle take place, and then blasting out of the sewers and chasing him through the streets of New York City. All the meanwhile,
appreciate that, Apex.
Come to the effects of the symbiote and is just getting angrier.
Thank you for the clutch stream while you're at work.
So cool. I'm telling you, Marvel
You're
Spider-Man
welcome.
2 has Game of the Year material written all over it. It has best superhero game of all
No, this is Game of the Year. I don't care.
All over it. If they stick the landing when this full game comes out next month on October 20th, it may honestly be the best superhero game ever made. I know usually when we talk about things like this,
this Game of the Year.
Keep your expectations in check. You know, don't get too overly hyped. You
Game of the Year.
Massive expectations. But no, I went to this event with very, very astronomically high expectations, and I'm serious. Marvel Spider-Man 2 exceeded them tenfold. I was already itching to get my hands on the full game on October 20th, but now I'm seriously foaming at the mouth.
Holy.
To get my hands on it next month. There's still so
I need this game
to talk about. I really feel like I haven't even scratched the surface of
best
my
superhero game ever.
There's so much that I want to tell you guys about, so we're going to continue the conversation. Lots of more videos to come. But until then, now let me kick it to you guys. Sound off with your thoughts in the comments.
Ooh, Kraven with the rifle.
Are you looking forward to Marvel Spider-Man 2 even more than you already were after everything that I went over in this video? Sound off with your thoughts in the comments. If you enjoyed the video, hit the thumbs up button. I've been Caboose, and I'll see you.
All right, no offense to Random Black Gamer, but his video was trash compared to Caboose. What? What was that, bro? Blood literally broke Embargo for nothing. Like, what? Shout out to Caboose. That video, that's a dub. That's a dub video. But my God, this man broke Embargo, posted 30 minutes early, and he barely put anything in the video. Like, Caboose had everything. Let me see if she posted, because she said she had an interview with Bryan Intihar. All right, she ain't post yet. Let me look at Evan's video. He did a premiere. I was not about to sit through 5-minute countdown for the premiere. Look like the premiere is still going. Yeah, it's probably his 101 videos are pretty long. All right, let's look at Evan's video, because that was probably way longer than 19 inches.
Of tag
Still got 2,000 people watching. Shout out to Evan. All right, let's look at Evan's video. Caboose cook.
Welcome back, true believers and all you spectacular Spidey fans, to another extremely exciting episode of Marvel's
Shout out to
Spider-Man
Evan.
2 101. And this, without a doubt, is the 101 video that you've all been waiting for. And I want to say right off the bat an unbelievably ginormous sized thank you to PlayStation for personally flying me out to Los Angeles, California, and being one of the first people in the entire world to get my hands on Marvel's Spider-Man 2.
Yeah, Evan's video is probably
Where
going to
during
cook
this
too.
preview event, I was able to play through a good portion of Marvel Spider-Man 2 for over 2 hours straight. And during this hands-on preview, I was actually able to play through the entire PlayStation Showcase demo that we saw all the way back in May, as well as experience a wide variety of some of the game's story missions and open world content. Not to mention that the game's playable build at the preview event was still a work in progress. And all of this brand new gameplay that you will see throughout this entire video of Marvel's Spider-Man 2 is B-roll footage that was captured by PlayStation. So even though I will be describing certain things from my experience playing the game that may not appear during this B-roll footage, just keep in mind that all of this gameplay was captured by PlayStation themselves. So once again, thank you so much to the wonderful people over at PlayStation and Insomniac Games for providing me with this once-in-a-lifetime
probably went all in on
opportunity.
this one.
And especially a sensational-sized thank you to each and every one of you for making this one Spider-Man fan's dream become a reality. So if you're someone like me who's beyond hyped for Marvel Spider-Man 2 and
got
is
a
pretty
lot
much
of new
counting
information.
down the days until October 20th arrives, then definitely be sure to hit that like button and subscribe to the channel for any major Marvel Spider-Man 2 content in the future. Now before I go on to fully break down my personal biggest takeaways when playing Marvel Spider-Man 2, I do want to begin with highlighting some of the biggest cons that I actually experienced with my time playing the game.
He's going
Where,
into
for
negatives.
starters, when specifically playing as Miles Morales in Marvel Spider-Man 2, I did notice that every single one of his manually controllable air tricks, which can be done by pressing and holding the square button and moving the left analog stick in any direction you choose, are literally one-to-one the exact same as to what we have already previously seen within Marvel's Spider-Man Miles Morales. Where even though I can't show you Miles' air tricks within this B-roll footage, I'm not kidding when I say that all of Miles' controllable air tricks are the exact same as to what we previously saw in his own standalone game.
No.
Where, if I am being honest, that is easily the biggest disappointment that I experienced
So no new
when
air
playing
tricks
the
for Miles.
game. And alongside of
New
that,
ones for
another
Peter,
big
though.
feature that I know a lot of people were wondering if it was going to be included within Marvel's Spider-Man 2 is the addition of more physics-based web-swinging techniques like that of loop-de-loops and also running on the ground while holding onto a web line. And unfortunately, neither of those features are incorporated into Marvel's Spider-Man 2. 2. So if you are familiar with the web swinging system in Insomniac's previous Spider-Man games, you already know what you can generally expect when it comes to Marvel's Spider-Man 2. But despite seeing reused air trick animations and knowing that the traversal system is essentially an enhancement of what we've already seen done
basically,
previously,
Peter has some
my
new
general
animations.
impression after playing Marvel's
Miles
Spider-Man
has the
2
exact
is that
same air
this
tricks.
is not only shaping up to be the greatest Spider-Man game that has ever been developed, but I also 110% fully believe that this is going to be the absolute pinnacle and the gold standard of superhero video games going forward.
True.
Where the incredibly talented teams over at Insomniac and Marvel are truly starting to show us exactly what it means to be greater together. As we know full well at this point is that Marvel's Spider-Man 2 isn't merely called that simply because it's the sequel to Spider-Man PS4 and the follow-up to Marvel's Spider-Man Miles Morales, but mainly knowing that this game is fully revolving around two playable Spider-Men, Peter Parker and Miles Morales, each of which have their own individual stories, combat mechanics, suits, and much more. But ever since playing through the entirety of Spider-Man PS4 and Miles Morales, it's clear as day to see how much heart and soul that Insomniac and Marvel have
that the web swinging will be mostly the same
game. Where for me personally, the biggest star in this case is none other than Peter Parker himself of Yuri Lowenthal.
But the web wings
Every
look
single
crazy.
time I experienced a scene with Peter wearing the black suit, I was completely and utterly enthralled by Yuri Lowenthal's performance, who effortlessly manages to walk a fine line between delivering the overconfident and cocky humor that we know classic Spider-Man to quip out, as well as embodying the completely dark and aggressive nature that the symbiote entails, which is easily the biggest element of Marvel's Spider-Man 2 that I'm looking forward to diving into further.
I'm just here to save my friend.
That looks like an antidote for Harry. Craven Caboose didn't show that part. So it looks like Craven had some kind of treatment for Harry or Connors. Maybe that's the antidote for Connors.
We'll finish this later.
But even with all that said, with Yuri Lowenthal's performance as Peter, the same thing can also be said about the entire game's cast. Almost every single character that you know and love from Spider-Man PS4 and Miles Morales returns here for Marvel's Spider-Man 2, with the addition of expanding the game's core cast. Specifically in the case of Peter Parker and Harry Osborn, where Insomniac have once again managed to put their own unique and fresh twist on the entire Spider-Man lore. And as expected, the same star-studded treatment can be said about Miles Morales, who is without a doubt played brilliantly by Najee Jeter, who manages to continue delivering an incredibly endearing and immensely heartfelt performance throughout all of his scenes, which not only makes it easy for me as a Spider-Man fan to become completely invested in both Peter and Miles' stories respectively, but to also see exactly how their relationships will fully develop as the narrative goes on.
It's just a lot right now.
I wonder when
so much to
Harry finds out Peter is Spider-Man.
Super stressed about my college
Maybe during
essay.
that talk in the story trailer.
Busy doing other stuff. And Lee's still out there. Doesn't that bother you?
But of course,
and
when
does
it
he get
comes
the
to playing a video game, experiencing the story is only one piece of the pie. Which now brings me to Marvel's Spider-Man 2's completely updated and upgraded traversal system. And to put all of my thoughts into one sentence alone, is that I for the life of me can't even imagine going back to playing Spider-Man PS4 and Miles Morales after playing Marvel's Spider-Man 2. The web swinging in and of itself has become so much faster. Approximately 1.5 to 2 times the speed in comparison to Insomniac's previous Spider-Man games, where not only have Marvel's Spider-Man 2's base web-swinging animations have become immensely more polished and refined, but Insomniac have without a doubt outdone themselves when it comes to Peter Parker's air trick system, where if you thought that Miles' tricks were good, Peter's brand new tricks, which sadly aren't incorporated within this B-roll footage, are pretty much going to make your jaw drop to the floor and have your mind blown in utter amazement. Where for instance, there's one air trick in particular that Peter does where he pulls out a Rubik's Cube and solves it while falling to the streets below, which is only one small example of all the craziness that Peter is now able to pull off within this game. And of course, how could we forget the biggest game changer within this game's traversal system, with none other than the brand new web wings, where after witnessing firsthand exactly what the web wings are capable of within Marvel's Spider-Man 2, I think it's safe for me to say that they're going to end up being a lot of people's most favorite part about this game's traversal system, being able to swiftly and seamlessly glide throughout the city, as well as
This
flying
looks so
directly over
good.
the various islands' water banks, is easily going to give this game's traversal system a totally different vibe in comparison to Insomniac's previous games. Especially when compared to another iconic superhero game which features a gliding mechanic with that of the Batman Arkham franchise, the speed at which Marvel's Webslinger is able to completely glide throughout the entirety of the city in Marvel's Spider-Man 2
This looks
is
goated.
pretty much a total 180 when compared to Gotham's Cape Crusader. And being able to mix and match
This
various
looks like the best
traversal
superhero game
options
ever.
like web swinging, web
Oh my
winging,
God.
web zipping, parkouring, and wall running all into one
I can't wait to play
polished
this.
and seamless traversal system is nothing short of a dream come true for die-hard Spider-Man game enthusiasts. But at the same time is very welcoming for newcomers to try and understand the mechanics of the game, while also having a rather high skill ceiling which takes time to fully master. But the biggest asset
I wonder
that
if
Insomniac
PlayStation is
uses,
gonna
which allows the player
gonna
to fully
upload this,
appreciate all
footage.
these brand new traversal mechanics, is the completely updated and expanded Marvel's New York map, which now features 2 new islands with Brooklyn and Queens, as well as various other locations like Coney Island, the Emily May Foundation, and more. Where even though you are able
You
to
can actually
fast
go to the
travel
Emily May
different parts of
Foundation.
the
Okay.
map, it is undoubtedly way more fun to try and use all your brand new traversal moves and put them to the test, which is only aided even further by
Xbox
the
down tremendous.
absolutely drop-dead gorgeous environments that Insomniac have crafted for Marvel's New York and its population. In a similar vein to how the District of Harlem did feel a lot more lively and culturally detailed within Marvel's
Spider-Man just
Spider-Man Miles
obliterated
Morales in
Lodefield.
comparison to
Holy.
Spider-Man PS4, the same thing can now be said throughout the entire map and all of its districts within Marvel's Spider-Man 2, where every single district and
Nah, this
island
looks
within
crazy.
Marvel's New York feels authentic to the New York of reality, and is easily the most beautiful and vividly detailed that New York has ever looked within an open-world Spider-Man game. However, while the city might be incredibly pretty to look at and fun to swing through, you might be wondering as to what exactly
This
we
looks
will be able to
amazing.
do within the open world. Well, don't worry, because Insomniac Games has you covered. Not only do we see the return of some staple activities that we have already seen in the previous Insomniac Spider-Man games, like that of enemy bases as well as the spider drone missions, but we also have brand new activities
That's
to
what the
partake
spider
in,
drones
like
are back?
finding fresh collectibles, as well
The
as
spider bots
taking
are
some
back?
very fun and entertaining photo ops for Robbie Robertson at the Daily Bugle throughout the city,
Robbie
and
is-
even straight up flying through the skies to chase after some
Robbie's
of
in
Kraven's
this.
drones,
That's
which
fire.
is really going to put your web wing abilities to the test in the most fun way possible. And like we recently saw in the overview trailer, there is undoubtedly going to be a lot more activities to
That was a
partake
new,
in by the
animation
time the
for
game
Miles right there.
launches. But even with such a beautiful playground to explore, there is still danger
But his air
lurking
tricks are
around
apparently
every
the same.
corner. And when you end up taking control of your friendly neighborhood Spider-Man, you're pretty much going to be expected to deliver some high-flying web-slinging action. Which now brings me to one of Marvel Spider-Man 2's biggest pillars
The
with
drip
that
is
of the
crazy.
combat system, which still feels similar to the previous Insomniac Spider-Man games' combat systems, but this time around has been
Yo.
given a whole new twist, particularly pertaining to the brand new symbiote abilities within Peter's black suit, as well as Miles' brand new Venom powers, each of which can be fully upgraded within their own individual skill trees,
I
but
cannot
also
wait.
can be freely customized whenever the player feels like it. For example, even though you will be wearing the black suit
Yep,
as
triangle
Peter
is,
Parker
web wings.
during specific parts of the game's story, you can freely decide to choose which ability you want Peter to have. So even if you are wearing the black suit, but decide that you want to use the Iron Spider arms as one of your special abilities, you can easily decide to switch that within the game's menu. And vice versa, if you are wearing the Advanced Suit 2.0, you can decide to use
That's
the symbiote
crazy.
abilities even while using Peter's default
That's
red
gonna be
suit,
crazy.
which is going to make the combat system within Marvel Spider-Man 2 a completely different beast in comparison to the previous games. And speaking of the beast, Peter isn't messing around when he's wearing the black suit, where if you build up enough consecutive attacks amongst enemies that you're fighting, you will be able to activate the symbiote surge meter, where to put it simply for all you Spider-Man
Venom.
Shattered Dimensions fans out there, is that Insomniac outdid themselves yet again by giving Peter a good old-fashioned rage mode, which not only changes the entire design of Peter's black suit, but it essentially makes every single attack that Peter delivers to his enemies instant knockouts, which not only look insanely badass, but they also display the aggressive nature of the symbiote on Peter's personality,
rage mode-
as well as showing how the design of the symbiote
That's the
will
same-
evolve
that's the
over
same
time.
design
But alongside of the symbiote
as in the
Surge's
story
rage
trailer
mode, we also
when
have
he was,
brand new abilities
chasing
for
MJ.
both Peter and Miles in the form of tag team takedowns and the parrying system, where rather than simply dodging enemy attacks, if you do decide to parry an attack, you will be able to instantly counterattack them with a far more damaging blow, which not only comes in handy when you're fighting bigger brute-size enemies, but also when you're dealing with mega huge boss battles.
Love the parry
where
system.
Not only was I able to experience the PlayStation Showcase demo and play through that entire sequence, but I also thoroughly engaged in a one-on-one boss battle and chase sequence between Black Suit Spider-Man and the Lizard. And when I straight up tell you that I had the biggest goddamn smile on my face when experiencing these moments, I am 110% not joking. As you can see from this B-roll footage is that all bosses will now come with a health bar, as well as having various layers attached to their health bars that you will have to whittle away at during these boss battles, which is once again another perfect example of seeing how much Insomniac listens to their fan base. You're really gonna have to start using a wide array of abilities and gadgets to try and take these bosses down. And in the case of the Lizard, being able to use the symbiote abilities as well as your webbing is really going to be critical to try and take him out as fast as possible. Not to mention that accurately dodging and parrying his attacks is going to be essential towards victory. And additionally, the previous Insomniac Spidey games are already chock full of incredible set pieces. But for the case of Marvel Spider-Man 2, that has undoubtedly been amped up to the nth degree, and is without a doubt some of the most cinematically captivating moments that I have ever experienced in any form of Spidey media to date, which only gets me thinking exactly what Insomniac is going to pull off by the time we have to go head-to-head with Venom. And if it comes to being anything close to what we see here with this Lizard chase, I have no doubt in my mind that it's going to shape up to be one of the most iconic encounters we've ever seen between Spider-Man and Venom. And I, for one, cannot wait. In the end, everybody, playing Marvel Spider-Man 2 was a dream come true. And I am being as open and honest as possible that within my entire 25 years of living as a diehard Spider-Man fan, being able to play through only a few sequences of Marvel Spider-Man 2 is easily one of the greatest pieces of Spidey entertainment that I've ever had the privilege of experiencing. This is literally peak. I genuinely can't thank Insomniac, Marvel, and PlayStation enough for pouring their heart and souls within this character of Spider-Man ever since the release of Spider-Man PS4. And seeing how much justice they've done to this character with Peter Parker and Miles Morales throughout each of their individual games, and now continuing that legacy onward within Marvel Spider-Man 2, straight up brings tears to my eyes as a diehard gamer, but also as an immensely passionate Spider-Man fan. And I'm also not kidding when I say that Marvel Spider-Man 2 is easily shaping up to be a Game of the Year contender. But we're just gonna have to wait and see as to what the final verdict will be by the time the game fully releases worldwide on October 20th. And with all that said, everybody, those are my overall thoughts and impressions of the Marvel Spider-Man 2 gameplay that I was able to get my hands on. What do you think of everything that you've seen and heard of so far for Marvel Spider-Man 2? And by the time the game releases, what are you looking forward to diving into the most? Is it the story, the combat, the traversal, or potentially anything else? Let me know what you think, and be sure to leave a like on the video and subscribe to the channel if you did enjoy, and for a whole lot more Marvel Spider-Man 2 content coming your way soon. And thank you once again to the wonderful folks over at PlayStation and Insomniac for inviting me out to Los Angeles to experience this masterpiece of a game firsthand. But with all that said, everybody, thank you all so much for watching. Stay spectacular.
Shout out to Evan. Definitely go follow Evan. So far, Evan and Caboose had the best impression videos. Definite W's all around. Let me see. You said Game Riot posted theirs.
Lucky. I got to play Spider-Man 2 for several hours, and here is my preview. Here's some brand new gameplay. So to set up the scene, do you guys remember that big gameplay reveal? I played that segment, and also I played a segment before that reveal and after that reveal. So Spider-Man 2 for several hours.
That was fire.
And here is my preview.
Oh, this is the Harry. This is the mission with Harry.
So to set up the scene, do you guys remember that big gameplay reveal? I played that segment, and also I played a segment before that reveal and after that reveal. So yeah, exciting times. Spider-Man 2 is here. Oh yes. So we're currently helping out Harry. You can see Peter is already
Oh, this
in
is
the
fire.
symbiote Venom suit already. And you see the sort of progression in terms of
He's helping him with
his
the
personality does change
accelerator.
throughout the gameplay as well, which is quite interesting. At this moment in time,
And then
feels like
Craven's
he's in
people
control.
attack.
I can't leave.
It's normal Peter.
I'm the only one who.
Of course, Craven the Hunter turns up. So Peter's pure energy right now is to try and save Harry. So Harry's back, he needs help, and Dr. Connors might be the key to helping him.
And the sound
So
from
we're fully
the
aware
machine
of
is making him rage out.
symbiote's weaknesses. Oh,
Craven's
no.
currently hunting him.
No. And we're back.
Boom,
There's a
symbiote blast.
blast.
W,
We've
Harry.
also through all the gadgets, all the new abilities. I am so excited to talk about this game. I've got so much to say and so little time.
You turn that sound off.
In the suit. You okay? Think so. I'm going to the
Yeah, like I said at the moment, Pete seems like he's in control of the suit. It's assisting him at the moment. But as you guys have seen in the gameplay reveal,
Oh, this is
it
W.
seems to turn very quickly, and that might be a slight negative actually. You don't really see the sort of negative.
So he's basically just
effect of
reacted to the
suit.
gameplay
It sort of happens.
instead of just using it as
I know
B-roll.
that maybe played upon a bit more in the full game. I don't know. But I like the fact Pete now has some abilities. So, of course, you're Spider-Man.
This is
it's very cool to be
fire.
Spider-Man, but Miles had.
Yeah, Yuri's acting
abilities
goes crazy.
in the Miles Morales game,
Can't get
and you
it
felt a
right.
bit weaker actually. Talking of
Friend picked
Miles,
up a signal
you can
from the
switch
satellite.
on the
See what
fly.
we're working with.
Oh yes. Oh boy.
That character switched to Miles.
A stain on my legacy. A disgrace. But deadly nonetheless. Find them. Kill them.
Craven.
Craven's last
Go on
hunt.
this guy's
Craven
list.
seems to be the sort of catalyst for what.
So this is the drone mission where you have to
Miles
chase
is
it with
still
Miles.
Desperately,
Work to track his
desperately
targets.
wanting revenge
not
against
getting away, Daddy.
Mr. Lee? No, negatively. No, what's his name again? Martin Lee. There we go. Got there in the end. And this is the wingsuit. What's it actually called? I forgot what it's called. Oh no! I'm so unprofessional. I read it down somewhere. I didn't want. No, there we go. Web wings. I got it right in the end. So you just simply press triangle whenever you
Triangle.
want.
We already know
in
triangle for the
every
web wings.
There is the sort of vortexes you'll see.
Down
And you
circle
can basically
to
get a
stop
boost-
with the web
get a boost
wings.
upwards, or like this, where we're doing a mission, and I guess the drone's providing me with like I don't know, like a vortex behind him, so it's all like free air, like a coat, like a.
Another fact, you just don't have the symbiote suit. Yeah, that's a great
very
addition.
fast way to get around, and the map is pretty much.
You can
double
use the
size
symbiote abilities
of the
on
original
any
game.
suit
Queens is now in
for
the
Peter.
game, and, it's so,
And vice
cool to
versa.
go from that bridge, of course.
You can have the iron
Queens
arms on the
and
symbiote
back
suit,
again. It's so good.
or you can
The
have
game
the
feels bigger,
symbiote
the game
abilities
feels better.
on the advanced
This is
suit.
a proper sequel to Spider-Man, the first game. That was such an incredible game anyway.
The sound design is incredible.
Weirdly, I don't know if I'm looking into this a little bit too much, but Miles' powers are classed as Venom powers. I don't know that was a thing. So the gadgets are on the right.
You can tell
press
Game
R1,
Riot
and
is not
obviously
very
the
familiar with the
square
Spider-Man
triangle
series.
button. We only got two gadgets.
You
One
can
is
tell the
called
difference.
The upshot, so it suspends enemies in the air.
Evan and
Brand new
Caboose,
gadget, by the way.
though,
Another
are obviously obsessed with the game,
web grabber.
the series.
It grabs multiple enemies. You see it like
Game Riot, which literally just
like a
hired,
projectile
just brought,
and
flown
the
out
enemies go,
because he has a big channel
Gadget.
and is well
Very
connected.
splendid. Let's see, the ability needs time to replenish. You do have multiple abilities you can assign.
He has to check his
those
notes.
Button presses as well.
Let's see, there's a
Four
web
abilities,
grabber,
there's not, believe me.
a
By the
web
way,
wings.
There is, yeah, this is kind of mad. 65 suits in the game. 65 suits. You see a couple of the suits in the gameplay.
Caboose definitely cooked.
A couple of suits I looked at. Very, very cool suits. Unique to the game. Of course, a few references to stuff like that. Yeah, still very.
You're gonna have
that's
Iron
a lot
Arms
of
and Symbiote
suits in one game.
at
I'm
once.
sure they're planning on releasing.
I don't know if you can mix and
multiple
match,
suits as well, which is, yeah, very cool.
but you
So
can
in terms
definitely
of
have
suit
the
tech, it's
the iron arms
damage
on the
focus and
symbiote.
traversal. There is skills.
You're definitely not
assigned
Yuri
to
Lowenthal.
Peter and Miles. So if you select a skill, it goes
Huh?
up.
Gameplay.
Spider-Man.
Welcome to the stream, Zay.
There's also individual skills.
If you're just
The
coming in,
vortex that goes up, which is-
today
how cool
is the
How cool is that?
day
I
that
was
the
unsure about
hands-on
the whole,
gameplay
flying
impressions were allowed.
But kind of like it.
Content creators and media
Skill
members got to
weapon
play the
is
game
definitely
early
still essential. Zipping,
at a
getting
preview
around.
event, and
Also,
they got to
the-
post
there's no
new footage.
police towers anymore.
provided by
Like any sort
PlayStation.
of game. You have to do a certain amount of activities within an area to unlock a fast travel location, which I think I like. Also, these crimes, the objectives, aren't like 3 tiers of objectives.
Appreciate that, Dono.
One bonus objective, sorry, and you're good to go, which I definitely prefer.
Thank you so much.
It was like I was taking on
Grabbing a Rubik's
these
Cube trick
crimes in the original
on the-
game. And I
with
was
the
like,
noir
I don't know
seat?
what
Hell
I'm
yeah.
doing. There's so much going on. There's like 3 different objectives. This was in the museum.
Basically,
Miles
choose
helping
random
someone
4
out.
abilities for any suit you choose.
Miles is really busy. He's trying to balance. He's trying to balance schoolwork.
I know a lot of people are going to have fun
Being
putting
a
the
Spider-Man,
symbiote abilities
cool.
on the Raimi suit.
A little gadget spider trying to turn the power back on, which is quite nice because the museum is currently being.
That's going to be a very popular
How
choice.
dare you? So this is a slightly slower segment. Reminds me a little bit of like the MJ bits, but you can't.
Uncaged
always
Games, yeah,
be
I saw Uncaged was there.
Spider-Man all the time. So now we've got a nice bit of open world, just swinging around, having some fun. Even the suit changes how.
Does anyone showcase
the
any new
wings work.
suits? We're seeing it right now.
Suits in this game again.
They
So many suits.
showed the
In terms of the
Insomniac
graphics,
showed the new suits
I'd say
yesterday.
there's definitely a step, a clear step.
We
but
saw
maybe I was
some
expecting a bit more in terms of the graphics.
we're looking
So
at a new suit right
fidelity
now
mode,
that wasn't shown
performance
yesterday at
mode
the State of Play.
on the
But
release
yeah,
of
we
the
saw
game.
a bunch of suits in the
Hoping
State of
there'll
Play
be a 40 FPS
yesterday.
mode, maybe potentially. We was playing in the fidelity mode. It looked gorgeous, no doubt. But
They showed
it wasn't a
this is a
considerable
gameplay
step up
of
from the
one of
remaster, but
one of Peter's new
definitely
suits.
Noticeable. Yeah, but in terms of how big the game is, I was hooked on the game as well. Like I did not want to stop playing. I was
This is
so
crazy.
upset when this demo ended. You'll see
This is
end of
the
demo and
Spider-Verse side
there's a
mission.
little collectible.
Thanks to Caboose. There's the Spider-Bot side mission chain is related to the Spider-Verse.
When you want to.
Uh,
There's the progression
Caboose
for
confirmed.
that particular region. So again, you need to get a certain amount of activities, collectibles done to unlock a fast travel location.
I'm wondering.
This is where
I'm
things
wondering
get
if they're
pretty
gonna.
interesting.
I wonder who's gonna show up. I wonder if there's gonna be Spider-Gwen. I feel like it's gonna be
So it's gone from
Spider-Gwen
Miles. So we've skipped past that.
feel like it's gonna be Gwen that shows up.
gameplay reveal.
from Spider-Verse at the
This
end of
is what
the
takes place
mission.
After this. He's like, Miles, you're too slow. You're useless. I'll do it myself.
Gwen or
And we're taking on
maybe
Dr.
Miguel.
Connor as Peter Parker in a symbiote suit. What could go wrong? Look how big he is. He is intimidating.
what's not
I did
confirmed?
The first time I
Zach-
played this as well.
What's not confirmed?
I'll openly admit that.
Imagine it's just
But
Miles.
such an epic.
No, it's not Miles.
So good. I think the scale
Caboose already went over it.
animation work on this game is just a complete step up as well. Really interested to see.
Did they show it too much? That's
happened?
hilarious, bro. I don't want to hear it. I don't want to hear
We'll see.
it.
I'm not spoken
I don't
about
want
it
to
yet,
hear
but in terms of the
anything
combat,
about
one of the big
them showing
changes
too much.
Are certain attacks
I don't wanna
can't
hear
be, dodged or parried unless you do a heavy parry. So you have to really time it.
I don't want to hear it from
to
anybody.
absolute perfection. Otherwise, you will get hit and it will hurt. So that's definitely the biggest change to normal
You
combat.
have
is
you
that
have
every
full.
parry
First of all,
L1, I believe.
people were complaining for literally
It's
years
like a sort of I think it's
that Insomniac isn't showing enough. Where's the marketing? They're not marketing. They're not marketing. Where's the marketing? Where's the marketing? I don't want to hear anything about there being too much now. Nothing. Say nothing. Nothing.
So you can avoid it like that. So
You
you're
can
able
choose to
jump
watch the
from
new
way.
stuff they're going to show,
Or you can, try
or
the
you can
heavy parry.
choose not to. I don't want to hear nothing anymore about marketing.
There we go. There's the heavy parry in
Insomniac
action.
is great at marketing, obviously.
When he used,
They proved
when
it
he
once
used his
again.
powers,
The game
will
looks
Miles
incredible.
become the more powerful Spider-Man. I don't know.
They listen to the fans.
I'll let you
So
guys-
if you don't want to see anything else, stop watching all the new content. Wait until October 20th.
yeah, Peter Parker
Otherwise,
and the suit are
just sit back and
definitely
enjoy. I want to hear nothing else.
becoming- Yeah, this is a big fight.
We're currently watching Game Riot.
Fight. I love it.
Game Riot on YouTube. Go give him a sub.
You may notice the
He's
black webs
basically
as well.
Caboose and Evan
The symbiote powers
basically
are
just
really
use the
embedded
gameplay
in
as
the
B-roll.
symbiote.
and just gave their impressions of the game and their playthrough.
Miles Peter Parker fly at some point.
And Game Riot is basically just showing us the raw gameplay.
It's just
and giving occasional commentary over it. So nice little contrast.
Literally making holes in buildings.
I don't know what Random Black Gamer was doing. I like Random Black Gamer, but his impression video was definitely the worst I've seen so far. Is this real? If you've not been paying attention at all, you just came through, we are reacting to the new Spider-Man 2 gameplay that just dropped today. Content creators and journalists got to play a demo of the game a couple days ago at a special event.
That is the question while watching this.
And today, starting at 11 a.m., they were allowed to post their videos talking about their experience with the game.
Spider-Man 2 is a bigger
and showing the new gameplay. They weren't allowed to capture their gameplay from the demo session. PlayStation captured this footage for them and gave it to the creators and the media members so that they could make their video.
Seeing Miles and Martin Lee, there's so many questions. Harry Osborn, of course, just gone past the Avengers Tower.
Yeah, Random Black Gamer was there because he has the new gameplay.
Yeah, it's just
he was at the event.
This is where
he just barely showed any of it,
and I was so angry.
I was so confused.
You'll see why in a second. I was gutted,
especially after I saw Caboose's video. Stop asking if it's a real gameplay. I already answered that, Sanag. Listen, this is gameplay. Obviously, this is new gameplay. I mean, there's no way to mod this. You literally just look at it. But as I just explained, this is gameplay that PlayStation provided the content creators and media members who got to play the game early a couple of days ago at the preview event.
He's going to be trapped, surely, right?
Nowhere to go.
There's no way you can mod this. Like, no. Modders are really good. There's no way to possibly mod this into Spider-Man Remastered. There's no way. This is obviously real. There's some really crazy mods, especially when it is Spin just dropped, but you can't mod this good. There's no way. You can't literally mod Craven Lizard gameplay. You can't mod that much.
Excited for this game. Let me know your comments and likes below. If you've got any questions as well, let me know. Thank you again to PlayStation. I can't
switch into the black suit like the webs. There doesn't seem to be switching.
Good times are coming.
But like mid-battle, instead, you can basically customize the abilities.
This is one of those.
So basically, instead of switching between the mechanics, you're going to be able to put the abilities on any suit. So if you have the symbiote suit, it's basically just a regular suit. The symbiote suit, you can put the symbiote abilities on the advanced suit, or you can put the iron arms on the symbiote suit. You can basically customize the ability wheel however you want. So it's not just locked to the suit. But what is locked to the symbiote, it seems, is the rage meter. And the rage meter pretty much confirms that Peter's going to be Venom. We got a bunch more to react to. Shout out to Game Riot. But there's a rage meter, and when you build it up, the symbiote transforms a little bit to look more like the Venom design. And basically, all of Peter's attacks one shot. So IGN posted one. Shout out to Game Riot. He basically just posted the raw gameplay. This is the. So IGN posted the hands-on preview. Who else posted? Did Hollow post yet? I usually don't watch IGN. I know Hollow was invited to play Spider-Man 2 early. He just posted Mortal Kombat. Afro Senju was invited. He didn't post yet. I'm guessing Comic Blast Keenan was invited. Yep, he posted his. So let's check out Comic Blast Keenan's impression video.
What's going on, everyone? CBK here with a very special video. I can't believe I'm here saying this to you guys, but I was one of the first people to get to play Marvel's Spider-Man 2, and I have some
Let's check out what he's got to say.
We're gonna get into all of it in detail in
We
this
watched
video,
Caboose.
Before I get into
We
that,
watched Caboose first. We watched Caboose second.
PlayStation and Insomniac
After
Games
Random
for
Black
flying
Gamer,
me out to Los Angeles for this global
who broke
preview
embargo
event for
and posted
Marvel's
early.
Spider-Man 2,
Then we
where
watched
a bunch of
Evan.
content creators and journalists.
Then we
were
watched
giving
Game
their
Riot.
thoughts on the game for about
And now we're
2-ish
on to
hours,
Comic Blast
as
Keenan.
well as take some really cool photos around these amazing sets where we got to see
Watch Kinda
Clayton
Funny.
Blair and Dr. Connor's lab.
All right, we'll watch
and
Kinda.
just
We'll watch Kinda
the
Funny next.
amazing statues
I
that
don't.
you
I don't
saw
want to
at
watch
Comic-Con.
IGN.
It was just
I'm
a
gonna
great
keep it a
time.
buck.
I got to meet my friend.
I'm gonna keep it a buck with you.
It was just a great experience overall. So thank you, PlayStation, and Insomniac
That gameplay
for
looks
flying me out
incredible.
there. It was just a once in a lifetime opportunity.
I have no idea
for
what
a fan
RGB was
like
doing,
me,
bro.
who's just been a
That was
major
not it.
Marvel Spider-Man
Blood did
fanboy.
not cook at all.
Great. I just also want to shout out all of the Insomniac devs, the
Caboose
people at
cooked.
PlayStation that were
Evan cooked.
representatives, the writers for Insomniac, and especially
Caboose
the
served up a
community managers
5-star
for
meal.
allowing us to have some really great one-on-one conversations about the game and other things as well. You guys were so gracious with your time, and I
don't know what
cannot
RGB
say how much I
RGB heated up
appreciate it.
some
It's really awesome.
some
But
day
you guys are
old
here for
McDonald's
my
French
thoughts on
fries
the gameplay, so we're gonna dive into that.
and
right
threw
now.
it at us.
To start things off, I want to let you know that we did not play the
No
full
offense
game.
to my
We got
man.
to play a demo, which starts us off a few hours into the story. The gameplay you are watching in this video was
If you're gonna
provided
break
to me by
embargo,
PlayStation
give us some
and is
heat.
not my own gameplay. I do hope you enjoy the gameplay that you're seeing, but not everything that I speak to will be represented in this gameplay. Okay,
Game Riot
we
was very
started off
confused.
with a few
He
things
and he just
unlocked in the skill
just
tree,
randomly
and
ended
we
the
had
video
2
too.
new gadgets to work with. A few suits were
But it's good. He
also
posted. He
already
basically
unlocked
posted
for
raw
us in
gameplay
this, including the Spider-Man 3 symbiote
without
suit, and man, does it
having it as the
good
B-roll. He
in
just
the game.
just
I'm
let the
happy
raw
that it's
gameplay
already
fly
confirmed that is going to be in the game,
and just
so nobody has to
rambled
worry about it. My time with
for the whole
game
time,
allowed me to
reading his
experience
trying to
part of
read
the
his notes.
story, as well as getting some time to roam around in New York City to explore and participate in a lot of activities. And that leads me to the first thing that I really want to dive into, and what I feel blew me away the most, and that is the upgrades to New York City.
RBG
To
cooked in
start
a
with,
moment,
the
but then
playable
once we
map
got
is
the
not
rest of the
only
food, we
twice
realized
as
it was
big as
this
the
was
first game,
burnt.
but it got a major upgrade in design. I don't think people are prepared for just
Nah,
how much
Blood
more
did not
detail
serve
there
at all.
is in this version of New York. I was
Caboose served a Thanksgiving feast.
blown away. Insomniac managed to make New York feel so
This
much
part was
more
amazing.
alive
Facts.
in this game.
Was Caboose
I mean,
the only one that
city
even did the
buzzing
Spider-Verse
with
missions?
energy.
No one else
The
talked
word
about the
people like to go
Spider-Verse
around
stuff.
is density, and does this city have it? This version of New York City is far more dense. There are far more people. There's more traffic. There's more variety in
All the gameplay over
NPCs.
9,000,
There's a
big
lot of
facts.
changes in this map. Better building textures, improved architecture and landscapes. The city has never looked so good. I often found myself not sure of
You're at
what
school
part
again?
of Manhattan I was
Unfortunately,
in
that's
because
part of the school
so much
experience.
has changed
You have to go back.
aesthetically from the first 2 games. The improvements to the city really show off what a Spider-Man game built specifically for the PS5
I sang a game Spider-Verse
really
missions.
looked
Yep,
like.
there's a side
Additionally,
mission
the skyboxes are
that basically
far
confirms the
improved.
Spider-Verse
The
is
lighting
canon
feels
to the
more
to the
dynamic than
Insomniac.
the 3 options that we had in the first Spider-Man
Caboose
game.
went over it.
Not every sunset lighting.
He
will
didn't get
look
to finish
exactly
the whole
same,
mission
at least
chain,
from my experience.
but he did enough
The
of
moon
it
also just looks so
to determine
incredible
that it is
at night,
definitely the
and
Spider-Verse.
clouds look
It sounds
so
like it's
much more
definitely Spider-Verse.
realistic during the day. I was simply blown away. I spent close to 2 hours with.
I'ma go over it in my video.
I barely scratched the surface on seeing all of the new details.
But yeah, this is crazy.
I truly cannot wait to
Be good in
explore it
school.
further. So
Yeah, yeah.
moving on, let's talk about the thing that you guys are all really dying to hear about, and that is the gameplay. Let's start with the traversal. I know you
Well,
guys
then we have to
are
school for
dying
Peter
to
Miles,
know
facts.
about the web swinging, and I'm happy to report that the web swinging is indeed much faster, and this is
Lucky
truly
thing is you
a
already streamed during the
testament to
study
power
hall.
of the PS5 and its ability to render the
Bro served us
environment
undercooked
you're
meal,
traversing
facts.
through very quickly. I can't say it for a fact, but the web swinging really felt like it was twice as fast as the first game. The B-roll I was provided
pretty
doesn't
much
truly show off how fast you can really
So pretty
go.
much the
I
only
mean, I was
negative thing
flying
is what
through
Evan
Manhattan,
brought up.
which truly put a smile on my face.
The
It's
swinging
important to know that we
the swinging
were also
animations
playing
are
in fidelity
basically
mode,
there's
but
new
I can't
there's some
imagine
new
how good
animations
swinging
for
will
swinging.
look in performance mode.
But
that 60
Miles
frames per
Morales
second with the
doesn't have
speed of
any
that
new air
swing
tricks.
is just gonna look
He has
phenomenal
a few
and
new
feel
swinging
great.
he has some
While
new swinging
you will
animations.
also notice a lot
But
of
all
new
of his air tricks are the
animations.
same.
The animations for Peter
But
stood out in particular.
Peter has a lot
because
of
there
new
were
web
a
tricks,
lot of
which are really cool.
looking animations and air tricks for Peter. I personally didn't get
And
this one, but my
the
friend
actual
Evan
regular
got
swinging
the
is a
air
lot
trick
faster.
where Peter pulls out a Rubik's Cube in midair and solves it. It was just one of the coolest things I've ever heard of, and one of the most
Sonic is definitely
Peter-Parker
goated.
things you could possibly do. Hearing that really put a smile on my face. When it comes to
So
Miles,
the
I didn't
swinging is the
notice so
same,
many new swinging
except for
animations
new
him.
new
I didn't have
animations.
a lot of time with Miles as well, so that
But
may
it's
just
much
be on me.
faster.
I also didn't really notice.
And
any
of course, you have the
for
web
him,
wings,
may
which
come as a
are a game
disappointment for
changer.
some people, but I personally
And
didn't
Peter
have
has a
major issue
bunch of
with
new
it.
air tricks.
Again, I also didn't.
So if you're
spend
swinging
a
around
ton
with
of time
Miles, you're basically
I
not going to
was
really
just
notice the
enthralled in
difference,
symbiote gameplay
except
and
for the web
Peter's
wings.
gameplay, so
But
that's
with
on me.
Peter, you're going
We
to see
also
the
need to talk
biggest
about the
difference
major addition to
in terms
traversal
of the swinging.
game, and that is the web wings. I'll be honest with you guys, I have traditionally not been a huge web
It's disappointing,
wing guy, so I'm just gonna get
and it's
that
only
out
it's a
there
little
right
disappointing
now.
if you're
I wanted
going to be
see
playing
them
with
in the game,
Miles.
but I wasn't sure how
But it sounds
often I'd
like if you're
actually
playing
use
with
them,
Peter,
just because
which
I
most
love
people
the
probably
feel of
are,
web swinging throughout
you're going to be
the
fine
city.
because he has a
It's my
bunch of new
favorite
stuff,
experience as playing a
new
Spider-Man.
animations, and
But I'm
new
happy to
air
report
tricks.
that the web wings probably became my favorite.
No, they
thing
didn't
to
show
do in this
Venom.
game
They didn't show
once
any
I
new
actually got to use
Venom.
them. I mean, I became pretty addicted to these things, and
Just,
I don't mean that I only wanted to use them. What I'm
Craven,
saying is that
we got to
it was
see
so nice to
a
incorporate
cutscene where
web
Craven
wings
and Peter
in with your
fight,
other
and we got to
traversal
see
and
a little
swinging,
bit
which is
of the
so
lizard, one of the
satisfying.
lizard
I mean,
boss
you can
fights.
seamlessly transition between the two for traversal.
Venom is
at
100%
really
playable,
high
and it's going to be
speeds.
Peter.
Between the web swinging speeds and the web wings,
They-
there's really
Caboose
no
went
need
over
for
this in the
fast travel
video.
this game because you'd really miss out on
The
some
symbiote
good
has a
fun.
rage
It's
meter.
not necessary at all with the
That
amount of
it's
ground
literally
you'll
going to be
be
Venom.
able to
That's literally how you're going to
cover
be
with the
playing
web
as Venom.
swinging speeds
It's
and
literally going to
web
be
wings. It's just insane.
the symbiote
Another
rage
new
meter.
traversal mechanic that I
It's going to be
managed
a it's going to be a
discover
story
was
set
the
piece.
ability to
Like
surf.
like
Yeah, you heard
like
me.
we
If
were
you travel at
speculating
high
before.
speed over
Now we actually got
water
to see
and
the
land on
mechanic.
water, you won't just fall into the ocean.
Peter is
and
going to be
stop all
Venom
of your momentum.
temporarily.
You actually carry that momentum through the water. You'll
Hollow just dropped.
glide with
All right,
your
we'll check
feet
out Hollow
across
next.
the water until you lose your speed. From there, you will fall into the water. But you can hop back into a swing after you're surfing,
Yep.
which is just
The rage is
incredible.
going to cause
It was
Peter
so
to
much fun
transform
to do.
into
In the time
Venom.
that I did get to play, I didn't notice any major changes to physics of the web swinging. For example, I didn't see
It's
any
not looking good for
options.
Harry, for
I
all
didn't
the
get
people who
chance
said
to
Harry
try
is going to be
run down
Venom.
the wall to
It's
see
not
if
looking
there
good
was
for you.
that. So I can't really speak to any of that.
I'm
because
sorry.
I just didn't
It's
get a
looking
chance
real
to
bad
try
for
it
y'all
out
right now.
or see if it was there. I also did not get a chance to use the new slingshot.
It's looking bad for
mechanic.
y'all.
I'm not sure if it's because I didn't see any opportunities for it, or if it's something that you have to unlock in the skill tree that just.
We
wasn't
literally
unlocked
got to see the
yet. But
mechanic
now I wanna
that
talk
will
about
let
some
Peter
combat.
transform into Venom.
Boy,
It's not
very
looking good for
fun
y'all.
to talk about. I want to start by saying, holy freaking crap! Playing with the symbiote suit is so satisfying. It definitely has its.
No, I
own
don't think
perk,
Peter's
though.
gonna be the
I feel
only
like I'm
Venom.
a pretty seasoned Marvel Spider-Man gamer, but when I hopped into this,
But
I noticed how much
it's
combat
not looking good for y'all,
evolved
Harry.
for the
It's
better.
Venom people.
The game introduces a plethora of new things to do in combat. First off, the gadget wheel that Insomniac has made.
Crazy
so
had those windows
famous
have
is
entire
now
rooms in them.
gone.
Yep, and
To use
people.
your symbiote abilities, you will need to hold the L1 button plus one of the face buttons. And if you want to use your gadgets, you need to hold the R1 button and use one of the face buttons.
It's looking
For those who
more and
don't
more
know what
likely
the
that
face
Harry
buttons
is not
they are
Venom.
your triangle, circle, X, and square buttons. While it did take me
But it
some
looks
time
like
to
Peter
get
definitely
used
is
to
going to be
the change,
Venom
I
at one point.
definitely realized how much the change is going to be necessary to make combat much more fluid and speed up the pace. I will be honest, I didn't get much time with the
Y'all going on
gadgets
a story
because I
trailer,
so
which was
focused on
such
the addicting
obvious
symbiote
misdirection,
abilities, but hands down,
because
the best
it
thing
looks
to
like
come from symbiote
Peter
suit
or
combat
Harry
is the
could have
rage
been the
mode.
one at the
That's
end.
right. After
That
you
was like
build
such
up your
obvious
gear,
bait.
you can press L3 and R3 to
Here
activate
it is,
this
the rage mode I was just
in
talking
which you
about.
deal far more damage. In this rage mode, you will also see the suit evolve into something a little bit more monstrous. dangerous. If you played
The-
Marvel
you
Spider-Man
can literally
and
see
Miles
he
Morales,
has a
you can
rage
hit
mode
L3 and
mechanic
R3
that
buttons are
makes the
used to
suit look
activate
more
your
like
superpower.
Venom.
But unless
How
you're
much more
resistant
evidence do
people,
y'all need?
those
Holy.
powers are no more.
Holy.
Don't take that as a fact, but I didn't see it in my time with the game. If they are gone, I'm completely okay with it because Insomniac has given us so many things to play
That's
with.
literally the Venom design.
Power probably would just make things way more overpowered than they need to be. As for Miles, I'd say that his gameplay feels the most familiar, but don't worry, there are definitely
Like,
some improvements.
what more do you
especially
need?
with the Venom abilities. Like, his new Venom abilities are great. Not quite as addicting as the symbiote abilities.
They could choose every
I
moveset.
have to say my two.
I don't know about everything, but yeah, Caboose confirmed.
Insane kicking people against the wall.
If you have the symbiote suit equipped,
in the
if you don't want to use the symbiote abilities, you can equip the iron arms.
In a Spider-Man game so badly, but it's a very welcome.
And if you have the regular advanced suit, you can equip the symbiote suit abilities. The symbiote suit is basically a regular suit for the most part.
With the combat is just the level of difficulty. I definitely think that the level.
It's a takedown. Yep. When Peter goes into rage mode with the symbiote,
time playing through the game, but
all your attacks are instant takedowns.
Struggling in combat, which in my opinion was great. Granted, some of that had to
saying
do
Doc Ock's coming back
to the new mechanics.
Bro, Insomniac cooked, bro.
I genuinely feel like this game presented more of a challenge. While I was playing, I had to stop and pause just to ask one of the Insomniac people.
What about the collector's edition? I went over this a million times already.
I know, make fun of me.
Peter is not going to be the only Venom. Peter is going to be Venom temporarily.
Through that without dying.
He's not going to be the final Venom, but he's definitely going to be Venom at some point in the game. There's going to be more than one person that has the symbiote in this game,
which I really appreciated. I can't wait to see what the game really feels like on ultimate difficulty. Now let's just talk about some random fun stuff.
I know you saw the Mysterio Easter egg.
Hands down,
Mysterio, it's not even an Easter egg. Mysterio's literally just confirmed.
Myself, Evan Filarca got to experience, and I must say I'm pretty jealous about it, but when he was swinging around New York City, he spotted a crime. And as he went down to that crime, Miles was already there fighting the goons at that crime
that's dope.
location. You could then jump in as Peter and help him out. And once you guys do a dual takedown and finish off everyone, Miles then swings off and says, "Thanks for the help, Spider-Man." I mean, how
so there's join in progress too?
That's exactly what I was hoping to see in this
how did
game.
They have join in progress?
A pretty seamless transition and almost instant, and it's just so cool to see.
Because that's what I was wondering about, if you'd be able to cause instead of just switching.
The new one, like there was a time where you could switch over to Peter, and he was just chilling in a web hammock. I just love that. It's such a fun touch.
So you're going to have random missions where either Peter or Miles are fighting a crime, and you can jump in and help them.
Punching and kicking.
That's crazy.
Things to see how destructive things are. And I was very pleased. Like, if you're fighting in Queens, you're pretty much destroying an entire neighborhood. This game also just looks incredible. Like, if you had any concerns about the fidelity of this game,
Peter's rage mode lasts longer than Kratos?
Right now, to put those worries to bed. Like, get rid of them.
Based on the gameplay,
this game,
I don't know.
Like
I don't remember how long Kratos lasts. I know Kratos could be upgraded.
Gorgeous.
And it looks like
on the level of Horizon,
and it looks like the symbiote one can be as well.
The facial models also all look phenomenal. Better than ever.
So I guess it depends on how much you fill up that meter.
What stood out to me though was the design of Lizard, because I wasn't completely sold on the way Lizard looked. I didn't think that the quality looked that
dope.
Great
Living world.
That's
gonna be so sick.
That was revealed to
Imagine new fast travel
at
animations.
Showcase, but I can happily say Lizard actually.
The fast travel looks crazy.
Like more detailed than I thought he could look.
This boss fight looks crazy.
You get to fight him in a boss fight, and it was just badass. I mean, I think that boss fight with Lizard is already better than the.
I think there will be multiple Venoms because Najee just. There's usually multiple people with the symbiote in every Spider-Man. Pretty much in every Spider-Man story involving the symbiote, more than one person has it.
Section of the gameplay that we got to enjoy. It was really good.
Like in the '90s cartoon, Peter got it, and then it went to Eddie.
Got one of the biggest upgrades, I believe. Overall, the level of detail has just been improved. Like top to bottom, the details are just so
they already confirmed the symbiote suit is basically just the suit.
Older build, so it's not even.
And it's not even the only symbiote suit in the game.
The finished game.
They have the Raimi symbiote suit in the game.
And I can't wait to see what it's gonna.
The abilities can be added on to any suit.
I think it's just gonna blow people away. But those are just a couple of random things.
The symbiote itself is mainly just a suit. The abilities can be customized and put on any suit.
Into some small story stuff. Don't worry, it's pretty much non-spoiler stuff, and I'm gonna be really vague here. But if you want to know absolutely nothing about the game, and I mean just like going to it completely.
Imagine Eddie Rock cameo facts.
Just tuning this out. All right, so first things first, right out.
This literally boss fight is better than both the final boss fights in previous games. Facts. They definitely really upgraded.
Craven in a church, and oh my god, guys, this is really setting up what I believe
Craven's
is
last hunt.
Incredible back and forth between the two characters throughout this game. Seriously, the performance by Yuri as the black suit Spider-Man is gonna blow your minds. I'm not kidding. It's probably his best performance as a character already. You're just not ready. As our gameplay went along, you definitely start to notice Peter go darker and darker.
Oh, they had the 90s black suit?
Even in the midst of all of that, you still get bits of dialogue that show Peter is still very much there.
This is so crazy.
Probably one of my favorite quips ever by Spider-Man. I don't want to spoil it, but it definitely put a big smile on my face, and part of that quip is actually in the story trailer. It's the one where he says something about not knowing that there are bears in this jungle. But the next part to that quip,
he said bears in these woods.
Yuri is great. I'm also starting to feel like Miles and Rio are really going to be the heart of this game. Like, I feel like their relationship is going to tug.
You can switch during free roam,
and if you watch any of my videos for a while,
you can do team takedowns.
Is that there wouldn't be enough time to flesh out the relationship between Harry and Peter. However, I need to say that after just 2 hours of playing, I already
the boss fights looks way better.
I know it's going to be awesome to see how this story between them unfolds
than all the other games.
About that, but overall,
just looking at the lizard boss fight,
there are definitely certain moments where he said some things to people that
actually
really
an actual enemy health bar.
You can see that Peter has certainly forgotten about his friends and is so focused.
They added the parry mechanic. That's going to be so good.
He just continues to push people away. It's kind of heartbreaking to see.
I just don't like Miles' hair.
It's really going to reach new levels of emotion, and I can't wait to see how it plays out. That's all I'm going to really say regarding the story. All right, so you guys listen to me speak.
Miles got that GTA 5 Franklin.
You're probably wondering what my nitpicks are. And to be completely honest with you guys, I can't say that I had very many. Sure, there might be a few things that I wanted to see, but I honestly don't know if those things will
when's the Bryan Intihar video interview?
So much more of the game
I haven't seen it yet. Maybe Insomniac posted.
I'm not gonna judge them for not being able to see certain things without knowing that they're in the game or not. There's still
the one girl
of this game
that got invited,
not gotten to experience. Like,
said that she was doing an interview, but she didn't post her video yet.
There are plenty of things to unlock in the skill tree. There's just so much more.
So I'm gonna be on the lookout for it
before I can nitpick really anything without getting all of the information. All I can say is that the things that I played were everything that I wanted and more. And if you're a fan of the first game, I can guarantee you're going to be very satisfied with your experience in Marvel's Spider-Man 2 just based on those 2 hours of gameplay that I got. But I want to thank you guys so much for watching and listening to my thoughts on this overall experience. I have plenty of other follow-up videos coming with more in-depth discussion, so definitely subscribe to keep up with all of that. I also again want to thank all of my viewers who made this possible.
Shout out to Comet Blast Keenan. All right, let's see what Hollow cooking up. That Hollow just dropped his video. And kind of funny.
Welcome back, guys. Finally,
shout out to Hollow.
Spider-Man 2
got that bass. Ooh, I can feel it in my headphones.
Video. Recently, I was invited to LA to take part in a very exclusive PlayStation event and be amongst one of the first.
I can feel that bass in my headphones, blood.
Get to play Spider-Man 2. A massive thank you to PlayStation.
Is Craven Russian?
Insomniac
Yes.
Games for having me. During my time there, we got to play a
shout out to my boy Hollow.
Spider-Man 2, which was roughly about 70, 80 minutes or so, maybe a little bit over, depending on your pace of play. But I got to play it twice. I beat it twice, so I like to say I probably have about 3 hours or so on the clock. And so we were also told that this preview version was about 6 weeks old, so it was considered a work in progress.
6-week-old build.
I will say I was very surprised at the amount of freedom that we actually had when playing this. We were allowed to almost just do anything, whether we wanted to play the main
base cooking
or just explore. Unfortunately, during my time at the event, I was not allowed to record any sort of footage, gameplay footage whatsoever.
I didn't check out PlayStation Access yet.
Camera into the room where we were playing the game. There was like a bunch of guys in suits, and they were surveying and scoping out the area. It was just, you could not record anything.
Yeah, they was not about to have any leaks.
We are in.
So that's the actual preview event where they got to play the demo early.
So you may be asking yourself, what's Spider-Man 2 really like? Well, at the core, Spider-Man 2
served
is
as
a
bird
really
food.
improved upon version of Spider-Man Miles Morales, and even more so, Spider-Man PS4. And all that is thanks to the PlayStation 5 hardware, and this game being specifically made for the PlayStation 5. Technically, what this game does is
that's why it's not on PlayStation 4.
Two titles and add things that I didn't think I wanted. A prime example of this is the webbed wings, which as soon as I got back from LA, I tried playing the previous titles.
There's some new footage
And I
we didn't get to see yet.
wanted to go back to Spider-Man 2. Spider-Man's web wings promote easier traversal around the map and quite frankly are more enjoyable for both enemy chases and time trials alike. They also get incorporated really nicely within the main missions and tasks that you have to do with Miles Morales and Peter Parker, which we'll probably look into and talk more about later.
108,000 seconds of school till Spider-Man 2.
The transition that you undergo
you switch between normal symbiote. Symbiote is a normal suit.
Is
you can just change it out.
And before we started playing, we got a presentation, and we were told that you have to press triangle.
You can change the abilities.
Web wings, and initially I thought, well, that's kind of odd. That's gonna feel weird, and it felt great. Like all you have to do is press triangle.
You can put the symbiote abilities on any other Peter suit.
Where you're gliding with your web wings, and let me just tell you, the distance that these things can carry you is incredible. The speed in which they carry you is almost just as fast as swinging. You can also get these like air pockets in the air across the map, which you can go inside and you pick up speed drastically.
Yep. I know IGN posted.
Fun. You can also like roll in midair.
I know. I heard Uncaged posted.
I mean, everything about this feature just tells me that this is.
After this, I'm going to check out Kinda Funny. I heard they posted a really long impression.
This really does change the way you play Spider-Man. All that paired with improved visuals, foliage, and density within the streets of New York.
He's Superman now.
Moving in this game, exploring the open world has truly never felt better. And I think this is the best in any Spider-Man game ever. I want to circle back really quickly to one of the initial statements I made at the beginning of this video, that we had all the freedom in the world to play this preview version of the game for multiple hours, and we could do whether we wanted to do main missions or free roam. Whatever I did, it doesn't matter. I personally, while playing this, I did not come across any bugs or any glitches. I don't know if I got lucky. I don't know if this was the intention of the preview build, or I don't know if it's just Insomniac.
No bugs. I mean, that's Insomniac
figuring it out. I feel like this is a game that comes from a studio that has really figured out how to squeeze the maximum potential of the PlayStation 5.
The SSD. They're not known for having a lot of performance issues.
Feels like a great experience. I feel like if you got a PlayStation 5, whether it was now or whether it was at the beginning where you had to go through.
Look at that. Look how clean that looks.
Everything possible just to get your hands on one. I feel like you'd be doing yourself a disservice if you have a PlayStation 5 and you don't get this game. This game really,
if you have a PS5,
really
you need this. You need it. You need this game
that the PlayStation 5 has to offer. I also found fast traveling and switching between characters, whether it's from Peter Parker to Miles Morales or the other way around, I found that almost instantaneous. When you get to have,
I think we can definitively say
not have loading
this is the best Spider-Man game.
It feels great, and that's what these consoles
not even close.
For. Now, on top of that, something you guys may probably be familiar with if you've been paying attention is the size of Spider-Man 2. It's nearly double in size. They've added Queens and Brooklyn. Of course, there's also Coney Island. But funny enough, there was a mission that I was doing where I was headed over to Connor's house, and we had to cross the bridge to get to Queens. And within that area, there was a whole lot less skyscrapers, just regular buildings, smaller buildings, homes. And in this particular area that I was in, I found myself traversing a whole lot easier, and it just felt better, more enjoyable, instead of swinging using the web wings. I also found it really fun and effective during Central Park, because you know Central Park has the trees and that's about it. So it worked really well in Central Park as well. Another thing that is in this game that was really cool that I noticed was when you're swinging and you fall into the water, Spider-Man has the ability to do this. I don't know what it is, but it's like a surfing sort of mechanism.
You can surf?
he kind of hops on the water and he glides on top of the water for about a second or two. And it's essentially, I want to see it as a second chance for you to not just completely go underwater and then have to
that's
swim your
fire.
way out of it. It was really, really, really cool. And I can totally see this being chained up with like dropping down into the water and then jumping up and then swinging back into a building. Or
Oh, that's fire.
I thought that was really cool. It's a nice little quality of life change sort of thing. Looking back into the original,
That is actually a big
Spider-Man
quality of
PS4
life
game,
change.
as most
That's
of us
a
know,
dub.
we had Peter Parker as Spider-Man, and we had Yuri. We also had occasionally MJ, which both of them would aid Peter Parker in fighting crime. Later on, we had Spider-Man Miles Morales, and we know
I'm
we
so
had
glad
Miles
they
and
improved on
Genki.
that.
What I kind of saw, and it was kind of obvious, and it was really cool in this game when I was playing it, was
Look at
these
that.
two forces kind of fused together.
Look at those
They
new
came together.
screenshots.
Not only that, but we have now Harry on Peter's side, which I'm still kind of iffy about him, truth be told. And we also had Haley on Miles's side. This big group comes together and form like this kind of nerdy superpower group of kids that help Spider-Man fight crime in New York City. Obviously, at the forefront of it all, you've got Peter, you've got Miles. I don't know. I thought it was really cool. And I've talked about this often here on the channel, how PlayStation has some titles that have this 1-2 buddy system going on. Clearly, Spider-Man 2 does it the most, like very frequently. It's actually part of the game nonstop. You can swap between characters.
Keep forgetting we go
But
underwater.
Similarly, we've had the last.
Yeah, this
time
game
do
is
that.
crazy.
We had God of War Ragnarok. We had Atreus. We had Kratos, and now Spider-Man, which is there all the time whenever you want to swap characters. I really.
You think
really
Haley
enjoy
and
that
Miles will be
video
in a
games.
relationship?
And it
They're
might
clearly
just
in a
be me, but
relationship.
I feel like
Yeah.
PlayStation has kind of caught on to that, and
He just
been doing
mentioned that.
recently. So I wanted to talk to you guys about the menu.
They're bringing her
side
back.
within this game and kind of give you guys a little bit of an overview of what they have.
So,
and what
no
they
Gwen.
include,
No Gwen and
maybe
Miles
give
this
you
time
guys A
around.
little bit of a brief description of what you can expect when you get this game. When you press the middle pad button on the PlayStation 5 controller, you're gonna have your suits tab, your suit tech tab, your gadgets tab, your skills tab, and your abilities tab.
Halo serving
When
us
it
some
comes to the
musical
suits
performance.
tab,
Hell
obviously
yeah.
That's pretty self-explanatory. That's where you go to swap suits for both
This-
Peter and Miles.
This is some smooth
So
lo-fi.
the build that I played had about 6 suits more or less, and I'm not gonna get into specifics because I don't want to spoil it for you guys. In case
Hollow
you guys
giving
wanna
us-
keep that a surprise.
Hollow
Yes,
giving
there
us
are
that
some
music to
returning
study
suits from
to.
the previous game. Whether we'll have all the suits from the last game, I'm not sure. I think that would be awesome, but don't quote me on that. I don't think it's gonna be a thing, but that'd be great. Within the suits category, you can actually craft new suits using city tokens and tech parts. The game will
Yeah,
tell
we
you where to
saw
get these
that,
parts. You can go
yesterday
grab them and then craft suits.
in the,
When you
state of
craft
play.
a suit, it just crafts like different color waves for that particular style. And so when you craft a suit, it actually gives you all the color waves. So I crafted a suit, I remember, for Miles
that's dope.
Morales, and it had 3 different color waves. And I thought I was only gonna get one of the color waves, but it gave me all of them, which I thought was really, really cool. So when you craft a suit, you get all of them.
Damn, look at
All
that.
the different color waves for that style of suit. There is, I believe, about 60 plus, 65 or so different suits in the game, which all come from comics, movies, and some of them obviously are unique to the game. Now, when you compare that, or excuse me, when you combine that with the craftable suits, all in all, I think the game has over 200
Yeah, we watched the
different
game Riot.
styles of suits, which is incredible. As we're talking about suits, we obviously got to talk about the elephant in the room, which is going to be Peter's new suit, the symbiote suit. When I played
19 inches.
Spider-Man Miles Morales, I honestly felt like he was much more fun to play with than Peter Parker's Spider-Man. I thought it was just quicker.
We're going to spend a lot of
stronger.
time watching videos
A lot
today.
of that had to do because of his venom powers. But when
Holy,
you
and I
use
have to make some
the
new
symbiote
ones?
suit, I think that might change because it's extremely powerful and it's got some really, really cool tricks up its sleeve. I don't know if it's better or more fun this time around, but I feel like it definitely, for me personally, it definitely caught up to Miles Morales' capabilities when it comes to gameplay.
For sure.
I truly do feel like
Symbiote
Spider-Man
OP.
Miles Morales was more fun to play than Spider-Man PS4. But in
Same.
this game, I think the odds
Hollow
have kind
spitting.
of balanced out a bit. Again, we only got to play X amount. We didn't play the full game. I don't know what else comes after the, what I played, but obviously we'll find out. Now moving over to the next tab, which is going to be the suit tech tab. In this tab, you're going to have health, damage, focus, and traversal. Upgrading anything under this tab will be applied to both Peter Parker and Miles Morales.
Okay.
For the gadgets tab, you've got the web shooters, which is
That's
obviously
part of the
pressing
shared
R1, you
upgrade.
shoot the webs. You've got something called the upshots. It's like another gadget you throw at them, and it launches the enemies up into the air. You also have the web grabbers, and there was like 2 more.
The
that
upshot
were
launches
locked.
them up.
But
Okay.
I believe, if I'm not mistaken, these are the ones that you use and you assign when you press R1, and then you press one of the face buttons, whether it's X, triangle, etc., etc. Then you get into the abilities, which abilities are used with L1 plus whatever face button you want to assign it to or put it on. When it comes to Peter, you've got the symbiote punch, which is a tentacle punch that knocks enemies back. We've probably seen that in a bunch of the trailers.
Yep.
You've got the symbiote strike, which is kind of like a strike towards the enemies, and it
Again,
balls them up and throws them up into the air.
telling us all the new
You've got
abilities.
The symbiote blast, which launches symbiote spikes in all sorts of directions.
Hell yeah.
And this actually pushes all the enemies near you backwards. And then you've got the symbiote yank, which grabs multiple enemies and pulls them towards.
So those are all 4
On top
symbiote
of that,
abilities.
the one that you kind of charge up is the symbiote rage.
And then
You
we
get
got the
this
rage.
by doing combos, dodging, and as you're doing combat. Once you get this rage, you get a meter obviously on the top right. Once this meter is full, you go into symbiote rage. And for regular enemies, it's literally a one-hit finish, and very strong and useful when it comes to bosses and mini bosses, because there are like mini bosses in this game. Same thing goes for Miles Morales. L1, any face button for abilities. Of course, he's got the chain lightning, which targets enemies with a bolt of lightning, which chains 2 or more enemies, and I'm assuming if you upgraded, maybe even more. You've got thunder lightning,
He is
which
cooking right
teleports to
now.
distant targets and lands with a burst of evolved venom that knocks a group of enemies back. This one's really fun to use, and I feel like Miles.
Do you think the Insomniac unannounced multiplayer game is Marvel related? It is not. It is an original
Venom
IP.
Smash is a slam on the ground with a venom punch, knocking enemies backwards. And of course,
Their
the Venom
multiplayer
Jump, which
game
lifts
is not
nearby
going to be
enemies.
Marvel
I think
related.
We saw this one in Miles Morales,
According to the job postings.
And then we've got the Mega Venom Blast, which eliminates all surrounding enemies. There are separate skill trees for Peter Parker and Miles Morales. They do share one skill.
Y'all have a
tree that
PS5?
whenever you upgraded, they both
Get a
benefit
summer
from it,
job
but they do have
or
their own
a
separate
fall job.
skills tree. At the end of the day,
You're
they
gonna
are
want
different
one.
people, different Spider-Man. So yeah, they've got separate and they've got one that's in unison. Let's talk about combat, and more specifically combat defense. When it comes to this game, I'm pretty sure we can agree that the previous ones, there was a whole lot of circle smashing, and it's fine and dandy, but there was a whole lot of it. I don't remember if there was any other way. There probably is. I just don't remember. It's been a
You
while.
have school?
There
A
was
lot of
circle
people
smashing. And
go
this
to
one,
school
there
and
is
work at the
still
same
a lot of
time.
circle
Figure it
smashing,
out.
but there's different ways that you can. The combat is more complex.
Cut some
is what I'm trying to
grass.
say. So not only do you have the dodging and evading,
Shovel
but you now
snow.
also have pairing with L1. So
Work part-time.
some enemies have
Start a YouTube
special
channel.
attacks that start off as yellow and then they turn red. When they go from yellow to red, you press L1, you get a successful pairing.
Sell stuff on Etsy.
This combined with the dodging and everything else, it does make the combat.
A lot of ways to make money out there.
Sometimes picking it up for the very first time, I was getting my kicked here and there. I'm not gonna lie. Once you start learning how to parry and you do it effectively, not only does it help you out in combat, but it also fills up your rage meter, the one that you use to get the symbiote rage. And when you get that,
That parry
it's really,
mechanic is
really
a game
helpful.
changer.
So mastering the parry button is going to be probably very crucial in this game. And then you have something called a crush, which is, I believe it was called a crush attack, which you just evaded. I only experienced this with the lizard as I was fighting him. But obviously it's, if you miss the evade, he's going to grab you, he's going to bite you down, and it takes out a whole lot of health. But with the lizard, you can also parry. So you can parry like big bosses. I believe I was able to parry him. And then the lizard, or bosses in this game, have like health bars. The lizard specifically had 2 stages, which is pretty cool. And
This boss fight looks so
combat
clean.
Slightly more complex in a good way.
Work at McDonald's for a month and quit.
It can be a
Facts.
lot sometimes. For the last portion of this video, what I had in mind was to express to you guys and walk you through everything that I played at the events. But they just sent me B-roll footage, and within the B-roll footage is almost everything that I played. So I thought, let's watch the B-roll footage and we'll kind of just commentate through it and probably reminisce some of the things that I did and what I remember. So
W Hollow.
yeah, this is exactly.
Here to pick up a serum order for a Dr. Connors?
So it is.
Exactly what
So it
the
is a
crew
Connor serum.
reported. And you're looking for Craven because he's got a serum
For
to
Connors.
make an antidote for Connors. From my understanding, and this right here,
Oh, this is sick.
this is where you really see, and Peter starts understanding that
You have hunted.
the suit is sensitive
Good.
to noise, of course.
Let's see if you have the strength to finish what you started.
Is Iron Man PS5 on Twitter a reliable leaker? No, he is not.
That we have not seen or that they've not
He
spoken of.
he's not a real leaker. He just pretends to
I'm pretty
be.
excited about.
He takes information from other leakers and presents it as his own, and he just makes stuff up
I see a man. I sense
and
a beast.
trying to guess.
That's the serum.
So he's wrong a lot because he makes a lot of predictions.
Again, now the suit starts acting up, as you can see right there.
So Hal just showed us the whole
Craven
cutscene.
realizes that, being a hunter,
Set it free.
This is sick.
thank you.
Just here to save my friend.
Yo,
Yeah. There
this
it
is so good.
We'll finish this later.
Now listen to what Craven says. It's pretty cool.
His last hunt.
My final hunt.
My final hunt.
Craven's last hunt. Let's go.
So this right now, this
Yeah.
is one of the new sorts of little puzzles that you can do. You got to hold the trigger on each particular area in order to pass through these puzzles.
We're home free. Come on out.
Yeah, I have no
Right
how.
there, you're with Harry.
I
Trying
don't
to
think.
make-
I don't know if he has the serum.
Discharge.
I don't think he's working with. I don't know if he's working with Norman because Craven's people literally
That's right
broke
after the
into
Craven
Oscorp.
encounter.
This is an
You go
Oscorp
to
facility.
Harry, you try to make the antidote. Something happens, and so you go into the.
Him and Harry are working on the antidote at Oscorp, and Craven people attack it. I don't think they're. I don't know if they're. I don't think they're working together.
Get out. I can't leave.
I think he stole the serum.
Oh yeah, the hunters come and they start attacking. So now while they attack,
Obviously,
put out
this
the
is
fire.
some level. It's not really a big spoiler, but obviously,
it's goodbye
if you
to
don't
the,
want to be
to the
spoiled,
antidote.
why would you watch any of the hands-on gameplay? Like, like it's not actually spoiling. You can avoid it. You can avoid it if you want. It's an option.
now watch.
Craven's gonna have fun with you.
That's a symbiote blast, which is like one of the most powerful attacks that you can do as Spider-Man with that suit.
The trailer is one thing. Okay, but you
Now, this
knew
B-roll
what you
footage
knew
is
they
like
were
this
getting,
very cut
but you
up.
knew what was
There's
coming.
A lot more that goes into
You had
this.
plenty of warning of what was
Here we
coming,
have-
so I don't want to hear any complaints about it.
Just so. In the suit.
People have been whining for 2 years about Insomniac not showing enough. I don't want to hear people complaining now that they're showing too much.
See, they've edited this pretty heavily, but it's still within the same.
If you don't want to see anything, just don't watch the footage. Just don't watch the new footage. It's really that simple. If you want, if you don't want any surprises, you just want. If you don't want to be spoiled for anything, just don't watch the footage.
I think the antidote is for
Like, what are you
Connors,
arguing for?
So we can bring him back because he's the lizard, because he's the only one that can help Harry with his condition. I think that's what I got out of it, if I remember correctly.
So you like smashing things? How about I smash your face? You're gonna regret ever coming here.
Oh boy.
Let's cook out everyone. Yeah, Hollow's video is really
In
good.
this gameplay, it said symbiote.
Are you hearing this?
Hollow's video is great. Yeah, Caboose, Hollow, Caboose, I think had the best video so far
Symbiote surge
in terms of
L3
information.
and R3.
Caboose and Hollow
I'm almost positive
had
that
probably the best in terms of
when I played it,
information.
it was Symbiote
Evan too
Rage,
had really good information.
which sounds better.
I think he was right. Your friend picked up a signal from this satellite. Let's see what we're working with.
Oh, this is cool here. This is one of those puzzles now that you use with
Crazy
the
that they're begging for more.
or with the web.
They show too much. Exactly. That's why I would tell everybody, these toxic Spider-Man weirdos are never satisfied. It was never about the marketing. It's never about the water. It's never about the suits. It's never about the physics. They just want to complain. They have nothing better to do. They just want to complain. That's all it is. It doesn't matter what Insomniac does. They will always find a reason to complain. That's why they constantly contradict themselves. Literally, this happened with Spider-Man PS4's marketing. When Spider-Man PS4 came out, you had people whining about the water, whining about the Raimi
So you have
suit,
to stay in the stream until it
whining
fully
about
downloads
puddles. They were saying
information
the
that
marketing
you're
was too
looking
much.
for.
They were showing too much information.
This was literally the
They were
first
spoiling
time I
too
used
much.
The web
Then
wings.
when they are more reserved for the Spider-Man 2 marketing, they start whining, oh, the water. Oh, the same stuff. Oh, the water. Oh, they're not showing enough. Where's the marketing?
I'm telling
Where's
you
the
guys,
gameplay? And then
those
when they show the
wings are-
gameplay and the trailer,
What you guys
they
use,
start
they're
complaining
so
more.
much
Oh,
fun.
that's not enough. I want more. Where's the gameplay? Where's the missions? I want to know more. I want to know more. Where's the marketing?
think he's
Even though
about-
they've been marketing the whole time, and they've already pre-ordered the game, and now they drop hands-on gameplay, a new extended gameplay trailer breakdown, suit trailer. Now they're showing too much. Stop spoiling the game. Shut up. How about that? Shut up, play the game, or don't. If you bought the game
I'm not sure
already,
if whoever was
shut up.
recording this, they deviated
If you
from the
didn't, if you
path
haven't bought the game
and just
yet,
went into, like,
also
a
shut up.
hideout or something.
Like
It seems like on the map
you know
there.
all you need to know.
So this is a bit different from
If
what
you're
I
gonna
did,
play
so I
the
guess
game,
that's nice.
If you don't
Came here
know,
just
if you
to
don't have
give us
enough
some
information
overall
yet
action.
to decide whether or not you want to play the game,
See,
you don't.
that's
You're
some of
never
the
gonna.
attacks that
There's never gonna be
people
enough.
do.
So you don't matter.
The attacks that you can actually
And if you
parry,
already
as I was talking about
pre-ordered the
earlier,
game, shut up.
they go from yellow to red. You gotta
It
hit
comes out
L1
unless
to parry them.
it comes out in like 34 days.
And from my understanding, it was either the bosses or like the guys with those like
You've seen
with those
plenty.
big swords. There's definitely different tiers of enemies.
You have
Like
your
the brutes,
choice.
The regulars, the archers.
You can see a bunch of stuff now,
typical.
or you can just take what you already got so
Parry
far.
right there.
There's nothing to complain about now. The only thing you can complain about
is sick, bro.
is that Miles Morales
Miles
doesn't
always
have
been
new
sick.
air tricks.
His abilities are
That's
so
it.
cool.
He doesn't have new air
Actually,
tricks.
somebody inside
But
the window just
Peter
said-
does. He has a bunch of new air tricks. Both of them have new swing animations. From everything we've seen and heard,
Another parry.
the web wings are an amazing addition. They've added a bunch of quality of life updates, like being able to skip off of water instead of just jumping into it if you fall into it.
Just
Like,
is this the
they,
10th
they have health
anniversary? I'm not
bars
sure. I could be
on
wrong.
bosses now.
If I'm wrong, don't
They've
tell
got a
me.
parry
See, those are the little
system,
gusts
so you don't have to
of
just
wind
dodge all the
that
time.
you see that you can
Like,
get,
they
and
literally
look
listened
at-
to the actual
look at the
fans
freaking
and made the
web
game
wings, how
way
incredible they
better.
are.
So basically anybody that's complaining, gatekeep them out. Like they're just weirdos.
I'm telling
They're
you,
either
man, it
Xbox
changes
players
the way
in disguise
you swing.
or PS4 players, or they're just haters. Like we don't want to hear it. We don't want to hear it anymore.
yeah.
It's over. Insomniac already cooked. It's a wrap. It's over. We're done. It's done.
And of course, you've got the
It's done.
backs and-
It's over. Insomniac won.
is it
It's
haptic?
over.
Haptic? I always
All y'all,
mispronounce
all
it.
the all the toxic Spider-Man players, we don't need to hear it anymore.
Amazing.
We don't need to entertain anything else. Insomniac did everything that fans asked for. Everything that real fans asked for.
Those webbed wings, man. They're so friggin' cool. I almost just want this game to come out and see what people really think about the new mechanics of those wings.
Insomniac gonna be cooking a gourmet meal. Fat. They've been serving gourmets 5-star service this entire time, bro. Like, this is actually crazy. how much we've got to see, how much the game has improved. Like, this is wild. Like, I thought what we saw yesterday was amazing. Today just blew me away.
Yeah.
Especially the Spider-Verse missions.
What are we doing here? A
Let's,
little spider bot.
so it looks like, I think Caboose might have been the only one, or one of the only ones. I'm still looking around.
3 spider bot.
I'll still look around for more videos,
East Side
but I think
Progress.
Caboose might have been the only one who did these side missions. That's why he knows about the Spider-Verse
Hopefully
stuff.
They show off some of the story mission before this video ends here. I'd like to kind of like walk you through it and commentate, because I had a really fun time. They did tell us that we weren't at the very beginning of the game, so like during this gameplay session you're seeing, we're not at the very beginning, but we're not.
This is
far
definitely a
off.
masterpiece.
I mean, I think from my understanding and what I got off of the story, Peter had recently discovered the
Yeah,
suit,
there's Spider-Verse stuff.
because Miles,
It was in Caboose's video.
Miles didn't even know he had the suit.
He just,
Alright, so this is one
Hollow
of those
just
things
showed
that-
it, but he didn't do the mission. Caboose looks like he was like the only person who did that side mission,
as Miles.
and I'm glad he did.
And
There's a side mission chain
I think one of her
where you're
friends'
collecting
business was
spider
in
bots,
trouble, and then you have to go check
and
it
the
out.
spider bots are corresponding to different
It ended up being
uh,
locked up,
characters and
you use your
suits.
spider bot to go
He
inside,
confirmed there was a
eventually you found out
Noir,
that there
a
were
Penny
thugs
Parker
inside.
spider bot,
And so
a
here you
Gwen
are
spider,
now
a
trying
Spider
to
Gwen spider
find a
bot.
way.
And he
Get
said
things
when
open.
Genki was trying to
Little
track
spider bot
down
now has some sort
who
of
was
jetpack.
placing
I
the
don't
spider
remember
bots around the
if they
city,
had that on the last
he said
Spider-Man
according to his
game.
readings, they were
But it doesn't.
millions of miles away,
This will make such a difference for the community.
which would make sense if they're from another dimension.
This is the meeting.
Okay.
And the animations that you get when they appear
Ven, siéntate.
in the open world when you're looking for points of interest, he said the animation looks similar to the Spider-Verse effects. So it looks like the side mission is going to be Spider-Verse related, and somebody from
Fine.
the Spider-Verse is putting these spider bots around the city,
Everything's good.
which is crazy.
It's just a lot right now. So much to take care of in the city.
You're taking a day off of school. I'm so glad YouTube is literally my job.
Busy doing other
I
stuff.
I could not imagine going to work
Lee,
after playing this game.
still out there.
I can't.
Doesn't that bother you?
I might actually do a 24-hour stream. I'm not even
Of
capping.
course, it bothers me.
I was joking about it, like, because 24 hours is crazy, but
I'm committed to making.
I might actually do a 24-hour stream. We might do a 36-hour stream. We might try to play through the whole story on stream, starting at midnight.
Yeah. But Lee,
We might have to do it.
I can't just let him go.
I don't know how long it'll take, but I might have to sit on stream
There was a portion that
and
I
try to
played
finish the
that
whole story.
Miles, you actually have to go to the cemetery to speak to your dad, because Miles feels
I might have to skip the
somewhat
after show.
alone and
I might.
lost in a way. So he kind of goes just to talk to his father for guidance.
Yeah, I'm
just
definitely not
someone
buying you a
to talk
PS5.
to.
That's not happening.
At that point in time, Peter Parker was very busy with Harry and trying to get the serum and antidote and whatever happened prior to.
What would you do if Craven unalived Screwball? I feel like Craven would not even bother.
Some really cool web swinging.
It seems
tricks.
more like Peter would take out Screwball,
Notice how the
but
wings are
I don't
not
think Screwball
webbed
is going to
wings
break
are
out of
different
prison. So
because it's a different suit. That's pretty cool.
I think we're done with Screwball.
Okay, what are we working with here? That's not it.
Yeah, I'm not Mr. Beast. I'm not buying people PS5s.
This is the lizard boss. This is an underground facility that you find without spoiling too much.
So that's the start of the boss fight. I wonder if he's going to show. They probably don't show the full
Now,
one.
you'll be able to see the lizard boss fight hopefully here.
Hey, Doc.
You fight 100 Riddlers over Screwball. When is the
There
PC
it
port
is.
coming?
He's
In
massive,
2 years.
By the way, like literally dinosaur status, massive.
2 years until at least until
And
the
he's been
PC port.
evolving and getting bigger. See, there's that parry move. You saw it was yellow, then it turned into red. I think this guy's playing on easy mode. You could also use L1 and R1 here. That's that crush attack that I was talking to you guys about as well.
made some mistakes, but it doesn't have to end like this.
So you can use L1 and R1 with your surroundings.
So Peter's not raging out. He's still in his right mind.
Want your family to remember you.
See if he does it here.
And is trying to help Connors.
You can still be with them.
There it is. L1, R1. Kind of stun him real quick with the steam pipes.
Ooh.
Think of your wife, your son.
Another parry. Ooh.
You can do another takedown. This boss fight looks crazy. Wow. Yeah, it's taken on average 2 years for Insomniac to release a PC port of their PS5 games.
So that's the end of stage 1. I'm pretty sure the lizard had 2 stages. Yeah.
That didn't work.
Yeah, Peter's not raging out
I
yet
choose you.
against Connors.
Let me help you.
I'm telling you, man, the boss fights are really cool. We only did 1, but the
Which is
boss
dope.
fight was really cool.
Because he sounded out of control in the gameplay demo.
So after you fight the lizard, here you have this epic chase that you have to
Kidding me, Connors?
maintain a certain distance.
Okay, this comes after. So this comes after the lizard boss
as
fight.
he crushes through New York City.
So after
And I
the
believe,
boss fight,
this part here towards
you
the
chase
end,
him.
or eventually, Kraven's hunters show up.
Okay, that's cool.
Which is gonna be here shortly.
I thought this came before.
After you mount the lizard, you go upstairs into like the top of a building or something like that. Yep. He's freaking huge. There it is.
Really?
Man, I've got a pretty good memory. Shit. This is about like the end of the preview.
Yeah,
Again, this was
yeah.
like
It took
80
Miles.
minutes.
It was 2 years
This
for the Miles Morales
down to like
PC
20
version
minutes. So
and
there's
the
a lot
Ratchet and Clank
that's
Rift
not being
Apart
shown
PC
here
version.
for good reason. But just know that
Sick of this lizard hunt.
there's a lot missing. A lot of cutscenes and info with both Peter Parker and Miles
I don't have
Morales.
time for this. Connors!
Oh, this is so sick, bro. Look at this.
Here it comes. You can't get through his skin.
He's trying to hit him with the serum.
Here you go up top.
I'm not losing this
So
antidote.
here you gotta dodge the attacks.
Oh, this is fire.
I'm sure if this is the last
Yeah, this
time
looks
you
like Killer
use it,
Croc.
because in the
A lot
preview-
bigger.
This is a chase, but in the preview there was 2
What do you do at the
chases.
top? Fly away.
The other preview was the one we saw in the latest trailer. Not the latest, but the prior latest trailer. Where you're like on top of the river or whatever. Yeah, I'm gonna shut up.
And then there's Craven with
There's Kraven.
the pew pew.
Hits him with the explosive. By now you should have the antidote. I think the lizard dropped it
Such a beautiful creature.
at some point. And of course, he's just another trophy for Kraven.
Yo, Craven going crazy.
Spider-Man. He's gotta save him.
Put a bomb. Put a bomb. He cut off his tail.
Oh, I just realized his tail was gone. And well, that's the end of the footage we got for today.
It looked like he was about to
yeah,
throw the
everything we
antidote
just
into his mouth.
I'm probably gonna be including that throughout the video, but at the end, I wanted to make sure we made it into some sort of gameplay walkthrough reaction, so you guys can kind of understand what's going on. And hopefully, my explanations throughout were.
So I think that's the last boss fight.
Thank you to PlayStation and Insomniac Games for inviting me over to get to play.
W Hollow. So it looks like you have the boss fight with so it looks like you have what you got in the game, what you saw in the gameplay demo at the PlayStation Showcase, where you're looking for Lizard at the fish market, and then you start chasing him at the same time as the Kraven's people. then you have the confrontation. You have the confrontation with Craven, where you take the antidote from him, so that you can give it to Connors. Then you track Connors to an underground facility. Have your boss fight there. Then after you beat him, he escapes, and then you chase him through the city. And then that's that last chase scene where Craven shoots him and cuts off his tail. And Peter looks like at the very end was throwing the serum into Lizard's mouth, since he couldn't stab him through his skin. So he looks like he was going to throw it in his mouth as he was falling. So I think that's how he's going to do it. All right. So I think Kind of Funny posted some Kind of Funny did a big episode. They did a whole episode on it. 50 minutes.
This week in PlayStation, we're talking about Tim Getty's Spider-Man 2 impressions. We'll have all this and more because this is
the long video. Hold on, let me see how much of it is Spider-Man. Yapping. Yeah, I'm not going to do. It's basically an episode of their show. All right, Uncaged. Uncaged dropped his impressions.
So recently, I went to LA to check out this little game. I don't know if you guys ever heard of it, but it's called Marvel Spider-Man 2. Yes, your boy
got to
get his hands on the new Spider-Man 2 game. Big shout outs to Sony and Insomniac Games for flying me out, inviting me out to this Marvel Spider-Man 2 event. It was so sick, man. They had like these carnival booths set up, just like the Coney Island in the Marvel Spider-Man 2 game.
Caboose.
This is how it's done.
Shout out to Caboose.
See? First try. All right, muscle up.
Time to,
Muscle up, yeah. Show us what you got.
It's a playtime.
Show us what you got.
Oh, this is a lot lighter than
okay. Sure. Sure, yeah.
See how Sean Uncaged is.
Oh, it actually lights up.
They went all out for this event, and they also had
Go
these
Moose.
cool little rooms where it was like Dr. Connor's laboratory, and they had Craven's den. Oh my god, it's so sick.
Welcome.
I thought Caboose and Hollow had the best one so far.
Cool things you guys have been asking for. Here we go. We got some rhinoceros. You know, took this bad boy out one-handed behind my back. You know what it is? More animals. Oh, elefantes. You like to play some games? We got some games here.
You would kiss a shoe to get the game? That's all?
Stay warm by the fire. You know what I'm saying? This is some of the weapons I use to conquer some of the animals. Oh, what is this? Spatter. What else we got here? We got cloth. We got some more paintings.
My favorite color is blue.
Don't be lying.
Caboose did a really good one. Yeah, Caboose I think was the best so far.
We got this tree, the family tree. Obviously,
Caboose and the Hollows are my favorite
connects us all. So we got this banner here that says.
So far.
You know what it says. I don't need to say it. And this is where I sit to relax. And,
RGB unfortunately had the worst one. It's not very good. And he broke Embargo.
What? That's the life I live, baby.
Now I already know what you guys are
Nero
saying.
coming through with the $4.99.
How's the
Nice
game?
work, keep it up. Think they'll add in Spider-Man Unlimited
I was
suit
able to play the game for a
$29.
few
I hope so.
hours, but I wasn't able to capture my own footage. So the footage that you're gonna be seeing is B-roll footage provided to me by Insomniac Games and Sony. So thank you to them for giving me this footage.
I don't know why so many people think Rhino died in Miles Morales.
In the
He did
demo I
not.
got to play,
He's
they
very
threw
much
us
alive.
in a little bit later in the game.
He's just
the
in
part
jail.
that I played, I got to fight one boss battle, and that was the Lizard boss battle. And man, oh man, let me tell you this: the boss battles have improved so much since the other games. Not
You think we'll be able to keep
is
our
the boss
swinging
battles
momentum?
more elaborate, but the boss battles
shooting
are
webs
actually
in
kind of
midair?
tough. I found myself dying like
I know what you
4
mean.
times against the lizard. Maybe I'm a scrub. Maybe the lizard's really strong. I'm gonna go with the strong one.
You mean not?
And maybe just a little bit of me being a scrub. Even though
Sounds like a skill
the
issue.
lizard boss battle was tough, I found myself still having a blast. I also like that there's like a life bar now for the boss battle, so you can see how much life they have. All these little new things that they have added to make the experience that much better this time around.
Imagine
Speaking of new
Spider-Man to an
things,
Xbox.
let's talk
I
about this
can't.
new parry mechanic. Now, in Spider-Man 2, there is a actual parry button where when your opponent tries to attack
Definitely
you
a
and
W
they glow
health
red,
bar.
you can press the left trigger button to then parry their attack. So before, you usually just press circle and you roll and dodge out of the way. This time, there are more ways to not get hit by your opponent.
skill
You can still
issue,
dodge
facts.
with the circle, but you can also parry, which opens up the combo flow potential even more. They've added more layers to the combat, which is a nice breath of fresh air. Speaking of air, flying kind of makes sense, right? The new flying or gliding mechanic in Spider-Man 2. Now, I was a little skeptical about the web wings and flying. When I saw them first reveal, I'm like, oh, that's cool. That's sweet. But is
The web
it
wings
actually
look
that
so
good, or is
crazy.
it kind of gimmicky? I'm happy to report it is so much fun. It is so natural. The way that you swing into the glide and then go back to swinging, going back to gliding, it feels phenomenal. There was actually a cool thing where I was chasing the lizard in the water and I got really close to the water while I was gliding and I thought, oh man, I'm gonna hit the water and it's gonna stop my momentum. No. Spider-Man then starts surfing on the water, which then I can jump into the swing, back into glide. Everything just feels
that's
so
so fire.
natural and everything just flows together. It's amazing. And don't even get me started when you're flying and then you go into those wind tunnels throughout the map, throughout the city. You pick up some speed. You go like Mach 5. It is such a fun experience.
Oh, this looks like it's gonna be so
points
fun.
of my play demo, I went to the tallest building in the city, jumped off and just glided. It was so much fun, man. I could see myself just gliding for hours.
I'm definitely going to try to fly across the whole map.
Smile on my face, then jumping into a group of enemies, and then just unleashing my symbiote powers on all of them.
Durag Nation welcomes
felt
everyone.
Like an absolute tank with these new symbiote abilities. It is so. I think that's
Unless you're a terrible person.
Spider-Man 2. Everything just feels fun. Now the cool thing about Spider-Man 2
you're
is
chill,
there's 2 Spider-Man.
you're
you can
welcome
play
to
as.
Durag Nation.
How does Miles feel in Spider-Man 2? I was a little worried that Miles wouldn't be as fun, seeing as Peter has the new symbiote powers. But I'm happy to say that Miles is just as fun.
Can you
to
switch
play.
between the red
I
suit
couldn't stop using
and black
Miles'
suit?
lightning abilities on the bad guys.
In terms of like a one-button switch,
and
no.
it shocks them all.
It doesn't look like you
an
can.
Amazing chain reaction that
But
you just
you
want to
can
keep doing over and
move
over
the symbiote
again.
abilities
Usually in games,
onto the
I try
red
to
suit
avoid
if you want,
enemies.
and
Not
vice
in
versa.
Spider-Man 2. I try to look out for the enemies because, in the wise words of Peter himself, I'm gonna put some dirt in your eye. That's one of the many things that I like about
you can have the
Spider-Man 2,
iron
is that,
arms
yes, on the surface,
on
the two
the
Spider-Men
symbiote,
play
or you
a
can
little
have
similar,
the
but when
symbiote
you use each of
abilities
their
on the
character
advanced
really
suit or any
feels
other
like
suit.
their own. Both Spider-Man shares gadgets that they can use in battle, which if you press R1 and then the face buttons, you can throw out like the web bot and all that. But the characters really shine when you use their unique Spider-Man abilities, like the symbiote for Peter and the lightning electric powers for Miles. Now, during my play session of Spider-Man 2, they only gave me a few hours with the game, but those few hours went by so quick. I was glued to the screen the entire time because the story was so interesting and I just wanted to know what happens next. After I completed the demo part of the story, I found myself just roaming the city and doing little side missions and side quests. One of my favorite ones is find the spider bots, which the spider bots actually have unique designs on them from different Spider-Man. So like I found one that had a Spider-Man 2099 design and a Spider-Punk design. It's really cool. Any Spider-Man you could think of, there was probably a spider bot for that character. So the final question is Spider-Man 2 just a copy and paste of Spider-Man 1 and Spider-Man Miles Morales? Absolutely not. This game takes the best parts of the past game.
Raimi suit with the symbiote abilities are chef's kiss.
Insomniac took all the feedback that fans gave about what they didn't like about the previous games and made sure it was addressed.
Yeah, Caboose said he got to do that.
Spider-Man 2 was always one of the games I was looking forward to playing this year.
Caboose said he put on
demo,
the Raimi suit.
That this is a
black Raimi suit
game on day
and threw on the symbiote
But there
abilities.
you guys have it. That was my experience with Marvel's Spider-Man 2. Big shout outs once again to Sony and Insomniac Games for giving me this amazing opportunity to come out to LA to play Marvel Spider-Man 2.
Big shout out to Uncaged Games Definitely subscribe to him if you haven't already. Let's see who else posted. Who else posted some gameplay today? I heard something about PlayStation Access.
Hey, Doc. Ready for your annual physical?
Hello, welcome to PlayStation Access.
Yeah, the PlayStation
Ash
Access.
And myself are fresh from our very first hands-on with Marvel Spider-Man 2.
It was good.
I can't believe we've actually played it.
Yeah, honestly, it was such a good day.
It was a very good day.
This is so good.
There was a big chunk of the game we got to play. If you've been following Marvel Spider-Man 2,
this stream is specifically to react to the hands-on impressions and the gameplay.
We got to play in and
that's not
around
something you're into.
Section of the game.
By all means,
slightly further as well.
And slightly further. We won't
Head on
be
out.
spoiling any story stuff, but we're going to give you our fresh, excited impressions on the gameplay.
I'm trying to learn as much as I can about the game from the people who played it.
On some of the traversal, and
you've pretty much seen all the gameplay now that Sony provided,
doing
but
other things.
Yeah,
there's a really exciting.
We haven't gotten all the details because everybody didn't do the same
Also,
stuff. They had a bunch
you
of
had the
freedom.
Station, and I got to jump on a little bit later.
Yeah, I was the spider player.
So you're like
so far,
you did
Caboose is the only
end
person
bit, which we'll talk about.
who mentioned the Spider-Verse.
But first, the first thing I want to talk about
no
is
one else
the
did
traversal,
many of those
because
side missions.
I always forget just how amazing it feels, and I think in Marvel Spider-Man 2 it just feels even more amazing than it did before.
100%.
Like it's just so cool
Yeah.
swinging around the city.
You love the pink and black suit? Same.
Beats
It looks pretty trippy. I'm not gonna
Marvel
cap.
Spider-Man games, and being able to just go back and do that again and it feel amazing. And you see these
Yuri's menacing voice sounds so
changes
badass.
in the animation where you can see.
Oh
that,
yeah, it's perfect. He's
Spider-Man
definitely
have
bringing out a
gotten
little bit
more
of Sasuke.
confident, a little bit more sure of
bit of
himself,
Sasuke
but
will be
playing
coming
as
out.
Miles Morales and seeing the way that
Especially
he
Miles, yeah.
handles a little bit differently as you're
When he
swinging
gets angry.
and doing like your little flips and stuff. I was just like, oh my god, this is amazing. But they've also added in the web wings as well now, so you
Swinging
can
animations
switch
are beautiful.
between
Same.
swinging around
They're
and
definitely
gliding
good.
around too, which they are so fun to use.
Yeah.
Like they're another one of those things that feels super satisfying.
And it's just
Yuri's performances are perfect.
Triangle, and immediately
Yeah.
the web wings come out. It's a real intuitive control system as
Yeah.
well. It's just like pitching up and down on the right stick.
From
swinging
Czech schools have more
around.
hours.
The height you can get as well.
Yes.
If you deploy them
American schools
right
could
at
use
the
more
apex
hours,
of a big swing,
but
just like
they also could use a lot more other
speed.
things.
As I was swinging around with Miles, I swung through some trees.
I was happy to leave when I was in
swinging low
school.
down through the
I did not want to
path,
stay any
swung
longer.
up through the canopy, and
Mainly
like,
because
a
I
bunch
wasn't
of
learning
leaves
much.
Yeah.
Like poofed out
For the most part.
It was just so satisfying, and the city just looks ridiculously.
Yeah.
Look at the
Being able
graphics,
to
bro.
fly over
Look at
the-
these graphics.
The shorter areas is really satisfying, and they've got rings that you can fly through, which are like wind tunnels that like take you even further and faster. So again, with the chaining, with the swinging, and again at the end of the
Back in
game,
7
where you've
weeks
kind of
holidays,
mastered
you can
all
get
of these
6.
moves, and you know just when to let go or catch on or deploy your wings, and then combining them with those as well. Oh my god, I'm literally just so excited to be like 30 hours in and just going around New York. It's
Yeah.
amazing.
I liked
He's mine.
the air graphics.
Yeah.
Which sounds,
That's a new one for you.
I know, it sounds stupid, but there's like a real sort of hazy thickness to the air quality in between the buildings.
All
And
that
in one
detail.
section, it
That's
was like
definitely a Joseph
sunset.
Whitty
Yeah.
And you
thing to
get that
say.
amazing thing
Because he
where
loves that
the
detail.
buildings
He loves the
reflection of
details.
The
Yeah.
buildings just look incredible. And you're like high up between the buildings, and you can see the street below you, and there's just something about the quality of the air. It's really hard to articulate.
No,
I was
it's
just
like city air.
Look at the
isn't it?
detail.
It feels so alive.
Lot more.
and I
I'm
was just
noticing more
mesmerised by
traffic.
it. That's probably
More
another reason
people.
why I didn't finish the preview, because I spent way too long just like, oh, just swinging around, looking at all this stuff. Another thing I noticed, and I love how much attention they pay to these little details.
Well, I think Jay Jonah
swinging around as
he was in the
talking
prequel
to
comic.
Yankee, I think, on his
He owns the Daily Bugle now.
And I was swinging under a bridge, and all of a sudden, Miles's voice sort of like went all echoey.
Yeah,
and
he's not just a podcast host now. He actually owns the Daily Bugle,
detail
where Mary Jane
I've got
works.
to do this thing over here, but quickly,
So,
I'll just save.
Yeah,
I'll just save the day over there,
Yeah.
and then I'm off again. Great, it's so exciting.
Yeah, and I think they kind of dig into that with the quick switch between
There's also
Miles
a mission.
Morales and Peter Parker.
There's also a
as
side
well,
mission
'cause you
with
can just
Robbie
go into a menu, press a
from the
button,
Daily
and then
Bugle,
you fly across New
where you
York.
got to get
and,
photos for
like,
him.
Go into another Spider-Man, basically, and they're always doing something funny.
And it was
is
about
what I
Wolverine.
like.
Wolverine
they're always
news is gonna
you
be
get a little insight
after
into what
Spider-Man
it's
2
like being
was
a
done.
Spider-Man off duty, because I went to Pete and he had like a little spider bot. Like
this week is all about
Spider-Man.
Spider-Man.
Playing with it. Went over to Miles and he was just like crawling around on a building. One of them was doing sit-ups like on the side, but like horizontally off.
They're not going to start promoting Wolverine.
So it's just
until after Spider-Man
there's
2
just so
comes
much
out.
joy to it though. They didn't need to do that. They could just literally like you could just open your eyes in another Spider-Man, but that they've added all these little moments that kind of solidify their characters even more. Is really, really sweet. And such
I'm
a
ignoring
cornerstone
everybody
of,
who complains
you know,
about
Marvel
spoilers.
Spider-Man as well, like that these characters are the center of it.
Anyone complaining about spoilers again, don't do
written as well.
Yeah.
Like,
unless they're like legitimate
sort of, like,
spoilers.
forgotten just how funny the first game was.
Yeah.
The section of the game we were like, Peter's got his symbiote.
People were just complaining that they're not showing enough.
Angsty Peter.
They're not
There's a little
marketing.
bit of that, but he's still Peter Parker.
Yeah.
He's still like the wisecracking Peter Parker. You know.
I don't hear nothing about them showing too much now.
Big henchman.
I want to hear
like
it.
a bear suit.
Oh,
was
yeah.
like with his big axe, and Peter's like, before we begin, and it's just like goes all quiet. I'm fresh out of honey.
Yeah, yeah.
And then he just it's great. He had to be there, but it
is good. It's a good one.
Looking at the news, doesn't look like Spider-Man 2 is gold yet.
Battle,
but it should be this month.
I was just saying to Dan before we started this that my favourite line from the whole thing is angsty Peter, but when he goes, how about I smash your face? And it's just the way it's delivered is so good, and I can't replicate it. You'll see it and you'll experience it, and it'll bring you joy. But it's so good.
We shouldn't try and do our Peter Parker impression.
Complaining about spoilers can be valid. I said that already.
On to
unless it's like a real spoiler,
big thing.
Like this is no point.
Which I think anyone who's played the first Marvel Spider-Man game and
like if you're sitting down intensely watching
will immediately
hands-on gameplay.
There's lots of
impressions
stuff to enjoy,
and but you don't want to be spoiled. Like, what are you doing? Don't watch it.
We had Bryan Intihar, the creative director, before we played the game, was explaining the parry system to us. It's like, if you see an enemy attacking with this yellow ring around them, don't dodge that attack.
Yeah.
And then it turns red.
Yeah.
And I think when it turns red, that's the moment where you have to hit L1 to perform the parry. And I should have listened to Bryan.
Oh, so that's what the red is for.
I was like, oh god, dodge. The dodge didn't work, and the big attack came down, and I got hit hard.
I thought red was for
we fought a bunch
unblockable
of Craven the Hunter's
so yellow will flash, and then when it hits red, that's when you parry.
No, they're quite
tough.
You've got to be on your toes. I mean, like it's never been. The first game was never like, okay, I can just button mash my way through this. You've got to really
it's not gold yet.
You've got to know what move you're using. You've got to know what enemy you're fighting.
When a game goes gold, it basically means it's finished and ready to be shipped.
And it felt a lot like that. It felt like, okay, but when you do nail it, and
that's basically what it means.
Absolutely,
they're ready to ship it and start getting it printed on the disc and sent out. That's what going gold means. The game's done.
Like so the punch, slide underneath them. Punch them into the air,
I haven't seen that announcement yet for Spider-Man 2.
Like a bunch of moves together.
Yeah, for sure.
But it should happen this month.
Kind of the way that you fight is you've got square as your battering, triangle to throw a little web and pull them over or pull yourself over to them, circle to dodge, and then you can hold L1.
Is there only one symbiote suit? All we've seen is a Insomniac and Raimi version.
And we were using the
bro, that's literally two suits. What are you talking about?
And kind of knocks them out.
What do you mean? Is there only one symbiote suit? You literally just described two.
And the other side is basically the new abilities. So the
you just described two in your sentence.
Peter Parker, which are so
The
good.
Black Raimi
like, it's
suit.
literally
And the Insomniac
just
suit.
tentacle attack. It's
That's
tendril
two.
moments, baby. So like you can like pick up about 4 enemies, throw them in the air. And
There's
slap
more
them
than
on the ground again. It's
65
quite
suits in the
brutal,
game.
which I
You'll
quite
have-
like, 'cause
you'll
it's a
have
bit
to wait
like,
and
"Whoa,
see."
Pete, are you all right? Every time he does one, and it's so fluid. Like he'll turn into a little ball of goo and then throw out loads of tentacles to smack everyone away from him. And how that kind of reflects in Miles Morales' gameplay is he has evolved Venom now, which is his bioelectric abilities kind of taken up to a new level. So you'll hold your L1, press
Bro,
the
answer his own question.
and
Exactly.
unleash one of his abilities, which is just
Have
like
I seen you can
electrocuting
toggle
people,
fall
doing massive
damage?
area,
I haven't.
damage
Where did-
attacks.
who
There's
said
all
that?
sorts in there. It's really, really fun. And I was looking through the menus at kind of what other abilities you can get and how the skill tree system works.
Hello, giving us
And
a
there's
full
just
oxtail stew
loads
dish.
to
Not the
play with.
oxtail.
And that also brings up that I just want to mention. The suits,
oxtail.
the suits,
The
Chef's
oxtail with the
kiss,
goat
because
chicken.
you can unlock so many
With the,
different
goat
suits from doing
and the jerk
different
chicken.
side missions and different like main story bits, and just
So-
basically you can earn so
little
many
steamed
suits, but you
cabbage,
can also
rice with
spend
gravy.
your points and coins and all sorts of bits to unlock
Some
suit
cornbread,
variants
collard
within that as
greens,
well now. So
yams
you
on
can
the
dress up Miles
side.
Morales in like pink and black instead of his like
Bro, it's
classic red
cooking.
and black, or use like different colors on all of
Do you
them.
think we
and
could
it
play
just
as Venom?
fits.
Yes.
It's so good. Like the customization that was in Marvel Spider-Man has been just,
Craven
again,
versus
dialed up
Venom
to
as
11,
Peter,
where you can
definitely.
play around with so many different things and have your hero look exactly how you want them to, with loads of references.
You don't think Venom
to
is Peter?
other
Peter
media
is
as
definitely
well.
Venom.
I like those sort of like breaking up the pacing, adding a little bit of gameplay.
At least one of
variety in
the
between
versions
swinging
of
around and
Venom
punching and stuff.
we'll see in this
Little
game is
stealth moments as
100%
well, where
Peter.
You got to get
Yeah.
this little robot guy past a couple of guards and
Yeah.
shoot webs at musical instruments to provide a distraction.
Yeah.
So you've got, I did not expect
Caboose
to be
posts his
controlling a
details on
robot
Twitter, bro,
spider
still cooking.
and shooting web at some cellos to distract
Yeah.
a guard.
Yeah,
that is a thing.
yeah.
I
After
did.
the stream, I'm
You
gonna
have to be
I'm
careful
gonna
as well,
watch
'cause the first thing I did
more
was shoot a
stuff.
man in the face, obviously. So I was like, let's
To-
see
for-
what this
to get
web
my
does.
video
and
ready.
They see you, and then they shoot your little spider.
And you
But
get a sad little animation of the spider.
I'm just do. I'm gonna just have to do a
so
big
good.
video.
Like it's proper like
talk
a
about
dead
everything.
spider with all the legs tucked in. I was like, this was worth it. But yeah, it's really good. There's so many little mini games in there as well. Like you breaking up different parts of a molecular structure to.
I loved that bit.
Yeah.
It's like an evolution of the cool little science sequence mini games you could do in the first game. Just that variety in it.
Yeah.
It's just
They have not officially announced that
another
Spider-Man
thing
2
I
is
thought
gold
was
yet.
really cool,
That when a
one of
game
the
goes
early bits,
gold,
especially controlling Peter. Almost
it
like
gets
a tutorial,
reported
really, but it's like you
and
have to put out
announced.
a bunch of fires
That's
with
why
your
I'm
webbing.
saying it's not gold
And
yet
just, you know,
because I haven't
it's
seen the
basically
announcement
like,
yet.
Here's how you traverse around a building with multiple floors inside.
Because even the preview build of the
but
game
it's just
was
like
from an older version.
A cool way of presenting that, I thought.
Yeah.
Just quickly flinging around these different levels, using your web to pull open, like, you know,
That was talking about the
sprinklers
cooking
and,
for
like,
the day.
using your webs to
We got a lot.
patch up.
I got a lot to talk about.
I really enjoyed all that stuff.
We got
also.
We got
flushing a
Mysterio
toilet with
confirmed
distracted
yesterday.
Yes, I liked
I
that.
really
Yeah.
liked that.
We got a bunch of details about the
but
game.
We should move on to the
We
big,
got the
exciting
Spider-Verse.
set piece.
Yeah.
The battle.
We got
against the
Peter
Lizard,
Venom.
which we saw a little bit of in the showcase footage, but you've now played that bit.
There's a lot to go over.
What was it like?
It was
No
good.
more BS about marketing facts.
Yeah, there's more than that, obviously. It was really, really good. So I'm not going to take you to Spoiler Town too much, but if you don't want to know anything about the boss fight or about kind of the story, then, you know, don't listen. But yeah, you go to fight the lizard, who is in a big sewer system that you've then got an arena in. And it's basically using all of the skills that you've learned so far, but then also learning some new
Peter
stuff
is definitely
as you go
Venom.
as well, because this introduces the blue ring, which is unparryable, and you have to dodge it.
They literally
So
have
you
a gameplay
even more
mechanic
things that you kind of got to pay attention to, use your spidey senses for,
that will
and
allow you to
figure out.
transform
And the
into
lizard
Venom.
fight, obviously, Spider-Man
You're gonna be
and
Venom.
Marvel Spider-Man is just all
He's
about
gonna be
these
Venom.
massive boss battles that are super satisfying, super cinematic. It's not just, you know, just in one room. He busts out and you're going across.
Is
New
Gwen
York,
confirmed?
And
When is-
there's
there is
Kraven
a-
the Hunter coming in. And
there
you've
is
got
a
to,
Gwen
fight all these
Spider
different
bot
things, dodge
confirmed.
them. You basically get to do.
And
the sort
whoever
of
is
cool, badass,
leaving the spider
fun
bots
stuff
around
that
the
you see in
city
the Hudson River sequence, but
appears to be
through
from a
city,
different
which is-
dimension.
It's just so mind.
But we don't know which character is going to be in.
And to see It's really, really good.
Nobody
But yeah,
so
this
far has
battle
finished that side mission.
I was just gawking at the lizard the whole time because he's put together so well. He has like his mouth open, his little tongue is wiggling the whole time, which I know isn't the point of the boss battle, but
I
it
would
was
love
so
for Gwen to be in the
cute.
game.
And yeah, you've got to figure out kind of how to stun him to get him on the floor so you can beat him up, and you can use environmental stuff. You can pull open grates and kind of flash him with steam so you get a little steam cooked lizard. And then you can beat him up with your spider
I never
fist.
thought Harry was
It's
actually going to be
just, like,
Venom.
So really well.
And the
thought
more
out.
they showed,
And
the more it was obvious
preview
bait.
ended. So I'd chase down.
Like, that was the
Connors,
most obvious
got the
misdirection
lizard, I'm
I
trying to give him
think
the
I've ever
antidote,
seen in
which is what
marketing.
we've been doing the molecular structure stuff for. I've chased him down.
I never
fought him in the
once
sewer,
considered
gone
that
out the
Harry was
city,
actually going to be
Craven
Venom.
Hunter's trying to grab him, and I'm trying to give him this antidote to figure it out. And Craven the Hunter.
But he
shoots
does
off the
know
edge of a
he
building,
does know Peter's
and
identity.
Peter Parker is on the lizard, and then
He knows that
that's
Peter is
the preview
Spider-Man.
ended. So I don't know what
Cliffhanger.
happened.
Cliffhanger.
Yeah, I was
Wow.
like, I need to know. It's just Peter Parker on top of this lizard, and then this black screen with Marvel Spider-Man 2, and I was like, oh god, they never had to do a preview.
You have to wait. You have to wait until October 20th,
Yeah.
which isn't that long.
No.
It's really close.
It's
Harry,
just
Sonic Iron Man.
honestly that boss battle, like that's
You say
the
lizard's
main
cute?
thing
Hey.
that I took away from it. It kind of wiped all my memories of the week and just put in lizard mode because it was so good.
My main takeaway was like the amount of variety, like, you know.
Well, there's a breakout
visually,
after Raft,
and when you're
so who knows?
The L1 and R1 thing where you can.
We're
pick up the thing,
we're probably gonna see a lot of old villains.
Enemies, just the increased
Besides
variety
Martin
of
Lee,
things that you can do
if there's
that
a breakout
with.
after Raft.
So you're fighting like. There's like little robot dogs as well.
Yes,
that
yeah.
that you fight, and
They're
like
tough.
and they are quite tough. But you can, if you get them stunned, web them and swing them around and throw them as well.
Mm-hmm.
And it's just.
I think Green Goblin is going to be the main villain of the third game.
The little lines that he was sit, stay. I was just those little disarming moments of dialogue where you just start
Yeah.
laughing in the middle of a fight. It's so perfectly spiked.
Oh my god, that Venom
Yeah.
fight.
And the takedowns.
The
as
lizard
well with
fight
the
looks
symbiote
epic.
suits.
Imagine
Just
the
little shout out to
Venom.
those, 'cause again, they're quite
Oh.
brutal. Like,
Oh my God,
not
that's gonna
that
be
they're
epic.
bloody or violent, but they're just quite. You just know it would sting to get hit by it. Like there's one where it's just the knee to the face.
You definitely feel the power.
This is gonna be
Yeah.
game of the
symbiote in
decade.
those moves.
Yeah.
And that sort of edge to Peter Parker now.
100%.
It's
I don't care what anyone says. Based
I
on
was
what I've seen so
impressed with it,
far,
and
this
cannot
is
wait
game
to
of the
play
year.
full game.
Yeah.
Please let us know in
This
the
is
comments
definitely game
if
of the
you're
year.
looking forward to the full game. Marvel Spider-Man 2 coming to PS5 on October the 20th. If
100% game of the year. So the preview event, so the preview and the demo, they basically focused on the lizard and lizard part of the game, where Craven is chasing Lizard. Peter is trying to get the serum, and then he's trying to contain Connors and give him the serum. That's the section. That's basically the section of the game they got to play. That whole sequence involving Kurt Connors and trying to get him the serum. That seems to be what they got to play.
The suits, chef's kiss, because you can.
And they also got to show off like the traversal and everything like that. All right, so that basically covers the gameplay. I heard there was some. I'm still trying to see. There was supposed to be a Bryan Intihar video interview. Where is that? Let me see if she posted yet. Supposed to be a new interview with Bryan Intihar. We've pretty much seen all the gameplay that PlayStation provided the creators and the media. She never posted her impression, so we check out Caboose on Twitter. Because I heard he put in some additional details. Those some new screenshots, which look insane. So he just posted kind of a cliff notes of his experience. New details he learned from his time playing. New symbiote surge ability, similar to originally from the God of War games. We went over that. That's basically going to be how Peter turns into Venom. The Spider-Verse side quest, he went over that in the video. There's an option to toggle fall damage on or off. That's pretty sick. Symbiote suit is just an alternate suit. You can use symbiote abilities with whatever alternate suit you want. You can set your L1 special attack wheel to only symbiote attacks, only iron arm attacks, or both. So you can mix in the iron arms. So even though you can't switch between the red and black suit on the fly, you can mix in the abilities of the red and black suit. So basically you can get that effect, which sounds dope. So I guess you can kind of mimic that. So if you have the advanced suit equipped, you can use the ability wheel to put the symbiote abilities on part symbiote abilities on the wheel, part iron arm abilities on the wheel, and mix and match. That also sounds good for like combat purposes, like for strategy. That's fire. That's actually fire. So you can pick the best symbiote abilities you think will be good for a mission and the best iron arm abilities, and you can just use both no matter what the suit is. So that's fire. Miles / Peter will sometimes join you during random crimes. So it doesn't sound like you can call them. You can switch whenever you want during free roam. We saw that yesterday. And we heard that you'll see random crimes happening where Peter or Miles will be fighting and you can join them while they're fighting the crime and do your team stuff. But sometimes they'll actually join you. So that's nice. That's a nice touch. Robbie from the Bugle narrates tidbits about NYC through a side quest where you take pictures of notable things. Nice. Boss battles now have the help bar. We saw that. Says Lizard fights huge step up from the boss battles in the last 2 games. This might end up being the greatest superhero game ever made. You're not kidding. Especially how high they will most likely be exceeded. Yeah, I don't think he's wrong. From what I've seen today, especially, this looks like the best superhero game ever. I'm blown away. This is awesome. All right, so my computer is running low on battery. I think that covers most of the stuff. I have to work on my video because we got a ton of info. There's a bunch of stuff, so be on the lookout. I'm going to work on a video. I'll try to get it out today. I had a video yesterday for yesterday's video. I had a video where I was basically breaking down the state of play stuff. But now after getting the first impressions video, I'm thinking should I? No, I think I'll do both. I think I'll do I'll do my video. I think I'll finish my video breaking down the state of play stuff from yesterday because there was some great info there. And then I'll do a new video breaking down everything we learned from the hands-on gameplay impressions. So one of those videos will definitely be out today. You have the live stream where I went over everyone's impressions. Video dropping today should be about the state of play stuff we learned from yesterday, and then I'll post something tomorrow, probably, for everything we learned today in the impressions. Because I still got to look for. There's probably going to be Bryan Intihar interviews and everything, so I'm a dig through more info and see what we could come up with. And we're also going to be talking about all this on the After Show podcast tonight. So if you haven't already, subscribe to that second channel, the After Show podcast, !podcast in the chat. We do that podcast every Friday with Jay Shockblast and sometimes Casual Avenger. So tonight we definitely have a lot to talk about. Maybe we'll have time to talk about Ahsoka, but it's going to be a lot of Spider-Man talk today. So be on the lookout for that. That's 8 o'clock tonight. We'll do a live stream and we'll cover that on the podcast. Thank you for everyone for hanging out. Shout out to all the creators who got the opportunity. Hopefully I get a review copy because I definitely can't wait to play this. I'm Sadot the Gamer, signing out.